Oh, on WZAA. Hang on to this. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio. You guys will have to keep track of the top of the hour legal ID because I'm going to be on the field. And also campusnation.com, the sports animal. We're live and we're on the air. And we are starting our broadcast tonight of PAFL football. The game of the week right here on campusnation.com and also on WZAA. We've got Bill Raybeck and we've got a cast and crew doing our. Are you doing play-by-play or are you doing. Yes, you're not sure. Chuck Hale's doing something, you're doing something. Okay? TJ is going to be doing the switching. I'm going down to do camera. I'm going to turn it over to you. I hope you're capable hands, gentlemen. All right? You're not backing me up on that too much. I'm getting nervous here. All right.
And welcome everybody to John Q. Sherman Field here at the campus of Chaminade Julienne here in Dayton. I'm Bill the Razor Rayback, and I'll be joined here momentarily by Chuck Hale. And a big game. The Fire comes in 6-0, ranked number 1 in the league in Tier 1. And then we have the Dayton Hornets fresh off an upset, convincing victory against the Cincinnati Chiefs. And so they are now ranked number 4 in Tier 2. So we've got quite the battle here. Of course, Dayton for them. Jalen Marshall coming in has really changed the passing game for the Hornets. And, very much like the team that he played on in 2014 in Columbus for the Buckeyes, they have that person who can take the top off the defense. And taking the top off the defense does a lot of things, not to mention score a lot of touchdowns, but opens up the running game quite a bit. And without further ado, Chuck Hale joins us here.
Hey, Bill, good to be here tonight. And again, like you said, exciting game here. Let's take a pause here for the national anthem.
and a rousing rendition of the national anthem.
That's right. Excellent job.
Well done, well done. So we're ready to go here. So Chuck, the defending national champs, Columbus Fire, our first chance to see them this year. Dayton is 5-1 on an uphill climb, and so this is a great setting. As a couple people told us, this is by far the game of the week in the PAFL.
Yeah, that's right, Bill. And I think we're going to see a lot of great talent out here in the field today. Be a lot of speed, a lot of great players. So expect a very exciting ball game tonight.
Yeah, a lot of history here with the Fire. Of course, as I said, they have won the national championship last year. Of course, they'll obviously be looking forward to defending that. They were in 1998 the National Minor Pro Football had the Coach of the Year. 1999 Coach of the Year. They in 1999 were the Minor Pro Football League Western Division champions. Jumping around here, they in 2005 won the North American Football League, the MCFL runner-up in 2009. They were national runner-up in 2009. 2010, national runner-up. 2015, national championship. And in 2018, national champions. So, Chuck, it's kind of exciting. We're seeing the defending national champs, the upstart Dayton Hornets, and it's going to be quite a game.
Yes, it will. That's right. And like you said, the Fire have had a long history of success, and Dayton, we know, is in their first year officially as the Hornets. And
absolutely.
So good shot for Dayton to prove or find out exactly where they stand in the PFL.
Yeah, I would say that there'll be a lot of jitters starting out for Dayton taking on the defending champs, and I think that's common anytime you take on someone that you recognize as the best team on your level. So I think that's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Dayton. Ball's taken at the 15 up to the 30, squirts out over the 40, out to the 43-yard line, and that is number 10, it looks like.
That's right. That's Dylan Moore, and again, Dylan with a nice return up to almost midfield. That's where the Fire will start, 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line.
And the Fire will be moving from right to left if you're listening on WZAA. And so the Fire gets ready to come out. Now, let's take a look at the defensive front for the Hornets. And we have number 24, Tremel Hayes, at defensive end. Josh Davis at the other defensive end. Lester Robinson and Rob Dice as the defensive tackles. So we've got a 2x2 set. I'll take that back. Quarterback gives the ball off to the big running back for the Fire, but nothing doing.
No, not at all. A little lost there, but we've got a flag on the play, Bill.
Number 42 for the Fire carried the ball, and that is Justin Head, a big running back there, Chuck.
Yes, he is. But again, hitting the backfield and stopped by that aggressive Hornet D line that we've seen. Likes to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and when they do, they cause problems for their opponents.
And I guess what we'd have to look at there is that it must have been an encroachment on the Fire.
So that'll help out on the Hornets, Coach.
On the Hornets. So the Fire have 1st and 5 from the 48-yard line, 2x2 set, back off set to the left of the quarterback for the Fire. Quarterback drops, gets it out to number 23, just over the 50-yard line, and it'll come up just short of a first down as he stretches out to the, let's see. Now, it looks like he stretched out to the 48, Chuck,
going to be just short
of the Hornets.
23, Daquan Edwards on the tackle for the Hornets.
And so we're going to have a second and 1 after the penalty. So, a lot of things you can do here, Chuck.
Yeah, that's right. The playbook's wide open on 2nd and 1. You still got opportunity to pick it up on 3rd down. So let's see what the Fire choose to do here.
So we've got a 2x2 set again. for the Fire. Back offset to the left of the quarterback. And there's the drop. And again, number 42, Justin Head, is stacked up. Nothing doing right there.
Yeah, that's right. Big number 99, Robert Dias on the tackle for the Hornets. And, again, like we talked about, he had penetration right away, and there's just no room for Justin Head to run.
No intimidation shown by the Hornet defense. They're actually just coming right at the Fire. And
yeah, they're the ones that are fired up right now.
Yeah.
You're right. So that's going to make it 3rd and about 4 here.
And speaking of fire, I mean, this this heat out here is like a fire, so it's going to be tough on the players, Chuck.
Yes, it is. Pretty warm today, and again, we'll see how that takes its toll, especially later in the game.
So we're at 3rd and 5, 3-by-1 set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Back is offset to the left of Michael Wilson, the quarterback, and Michael Wilson gets it into number 23, and they're going to say it skipped in. And so that's going to bring up 4th down. So, Chuck, this is that gray area where 4th and 5, it's almost a little bit too far to go for here. But it just depends on how much confidence you have in your defense. And the Fire defense has been up to the task this year, as I believe they've only given up, looks like 23 points.
Yeah, that's right. And 17 of those came in one game.
Last week against the Butler County Broncos.
Right, so the Fire have shown that they're not afraid of anybody on defense. But,
No.
They do choose to punt here. So 4th and about, we'll call it 4. And, again, the Fire into punt.
And they are going to be in a spread punt formation. And it looks like the Hornets may be trying to set up the return here because they're going to double team both the gunners.
Right, I believe that's number 1, Robert Red, deep for the Hornets.
Yeah. Nice job on the jam by the Hornets. And Red gets it right on the sideline and able to advance it up to about the 23-yard line before
unfortunately, his momentum just carried him out of bounds there. He had to run pretty hard to the sideline to field the ball and, again, just carried him right out of bounds.
Yeah, I think if he had another, couple steps there to stay in bounds, he could have done some damage on that. Actually, they're marking it back at the 18-yard line where they say Robert's foot hit the
I thought he might have stepped out almost immediately after catching it and tried to walk the tightrope there, but just couldn't quite stay in.
Yeah, I would say without the benefit of slow motion replay, we won't be able to call that there.
That's right.
So we've got Evan Sawyer, who's thrown for 533 yards and 9 touchdowns. Leading the Hornet attack here.
Yeah, that's right. And our fans that follow us here on Campus Nation, remember Evan Sawyer had a really nice game 2 weeks ago when they visited the Cincinnati Chiefs. He led the Hornets to a victory down there, and I'm sure he's looking to do the same today.
So Evan in the shotgun with his running back to the left, and I would believe that's probably Tristan Murray, his leading rusher. A 2-by-2 set, motion from the slot. And it looks like it is Murray.
Give to Murray up the middle. And
he's able to pick up about 3 yards, up to almost the 21-yard line. Murray has 39 carries for 180 yards on the season, a 4.6 yard per carry average, and 4 touchdowns, Chuck.
Yeah, Tristan, pretty tough running back. I remember him going back to his days at Tecumseh High School. He was a very good prep and has had some good success here this year for the Hornets.
3-by-1 set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Running back Tristan Murray set off to the left of Evan Sawyer. And Sawyer gives it off to Murray again. This time not as much room as he gets back to about the line of scrimmage, which is going to bring up a 3rd and long 7 here.
Yep, number 11, Derek Samuels, and number 97, Demetrius Blessingame on the tackle for the Fire.
So, and all eyes for the Fire are going to have to be on number 17, I would imagine, when he's in the game, because Jalen Marshall, the former Ohio State standout and New York Jets player, is obviously someone that's going to be looming heavily on the mind of the Fire.
He'll draw some attention.
I think he will. Safety is shaded over to Marshall, 2-by-2 set. Oh, and it's picked off by number 12. For the Fire, and he takes it back for 6.
Tyrone Futch with a big 6 there.
Yeah, 22-yard return for Tyrone Futch, and just like that, the Fire finds themselves ahead 6-0.
Yeah, that's right. Nice read, nice break on the ball, and not too difficult to play for the rest of that for Tyren.
And we were told we were going to see a very, very athletic Fire team. Again, we've not had an opportunity to see them, but that display of athleticism there on that break on that ball just shows you the type of things the Hornets are going to have to deal with today.
That's exactly right, Bill.
So number 16 is out to attempt this extra point.
All right, that's Jordan Spurlock, the kicker for the Fire. Number 10, Dylan Moore, the holder.
And so Spurlock gets ready. He counts them up. They've got people coming in still.
And the fire drill going on here.
Yeah, you know, want to make sure you got everybody there. There's no sense in trying the extra point.
That's right.
There's the snap, a nice hold and kick, and that was the mechanics on that looked pretty good, Chuck.
That's right. So with 9:19 to go in the first quarter, your score: Columbus Fire 7, Dayton Hornets yet to score.
Yeah. So as we take a look there, the you know, I think the Hornets just have to keep their composure and shake that one off. That stuff's going to happen early in games. You know, you got to get your flow, you got to get that timing. And as any quarterback, if you put the ball out to the flats and you're not sure who the corner is, it can end in disaster for you.
That's exactly right. You know, and you know, the Hornets came out in a 3-by-1 look there, and you know, through to the single receiver side, and you know, again, the like we talked about, the corner just made a nice play, nice break on the ball, and you know, converted that into 6. So we'll see what the Hornets can do coming forward here.
Yeah, they looked for the ISO on that, and they got the ISO, but it was with the wrong guy. It was
that's exactly right.
Number 12. So Tyren Futch is credited with a 6-yard touch or a 22-yard touchdown return, and Jordan Spurlock is ready to kick for the Fire. Back deep. And we'll get the numbers here in a second. And it is a short kick, bounces at about the 25-yard line. It's picked up by, we'll get it here in a second.
Looks like that's big 29, Danny Roberts, and kind of got upended there, but brings it out almost to the 30-yard line.
Yep.
Or just past the 30, excuse me.
Yeah,
Looks like that's where the
32-yard.
Hornets will start, first and 10.
No, actually out to the I think they even, it looks like they're going to mark, well, almost 32. It's
32.
It's at 32, 33.
0.6.
Yeah.
Let's not get too technical, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we could drive ourselves crazy with that. Okay, so 2-by-2 set. Evan Sawyer is at quarterback. Tristan Murray, the running back, offset to Sawyer's right. And he gives it again to Murray, and Murray slants hard off the left side for a pickup of about almost 5 yards out to the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that's right. You know, but I'd say 3 or 4 of those yards were after initial contact.
Yep.
Tristan just kept his feet going and had a nice gain there over the left side.
And, of course, we saw Tristan against Cincinnati. You saw him twice against Cincinnati, and he was a presence in the first game, and I can't speak to the second game since I wasn't here. But
it's certainly an impact player for this Hornets team.
Yep. 2-by-2 set. Murray offset to the right. And
Marshall in the slot at the top of the field.
He looks it over, and, of course, we talked about Jalen Marshall's presence, and he looks, and he gets the ball out to number 18. I think that's Nick Black. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And Nick Black with the catch. And just apparently just short of a first down because they haven't. Now they're saying that he didn't catch it.
Yeah, I think the sticks didn't move there, so it's going to be 3rd, and we'll call it 6.
So he must have been bobbling it as he went out of bounds. So 3rd and 6, one of those tough downs to dial up the right play, Chuck. 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 are those kind of no-man situations in a play calling situation.
That's exactly right. But you know, the Hornets need a first down here to try to get some momentum on their side.
They sure do.
2-by-2 look here.
Yep. Sawyer with Murray off to his right. We've got motion from right to left, and he tries. You know, and Sawyer tries to get the ball out there, but
yeah, just led Derek Kane a little bit too much to the sideline there. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, so it's going to be punt time for the Hornets as they go out there, and looks like punting will be number 4, and that would be Aaron. Oh, I'm sorry.
Angel Soto, Coach.
Angel Soto.
Yep. And don't want to get on Angel too much here, but we've seen him have his punting woes this season. So let's see if he can get a good one off here.
Yeah.
And at least give the Fire a tough field position to start with.
And it was reported to us that Colin Bradley was going to do the punting, but Angel's back in there.
Yeah,
and
Kellen does all the place kicking. Nice bounce there for the Hornets.
And it bounces about the 42 and rolls down to the 37 of the Fire. So that's where the Fire will start their second offensive possession. So number 13, Michael Wilson, is the quarterback for the Fire. And number 42, Justin Head, has been the running back. We'll see if that remains the same. And, a shout out there to number 70, Demisius Brown, the left tackle, is a huge offensive tackle there for the Fire.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Bill. He is a house over there on the left
He
side.
is a big dude there, man.
No doubt about it.
So we've got 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line, and we've got Wilson in the shotgun with the back to his right-hand side.
Hornets showing blitz.
And he gives it off to Head again, and Head is dropped. I think this is the third time he's been dropped for a loss.
Tackled for a loss every carry. That was Big Lester Robinson, 36 on the tackle.
The former East Clinton High School.
That's right.
All-state player. Two-time. So it's going to be 2nd and 12 or a long 11. Again, we'll get the micrometer out and figure that one out. But it's
Bill.
it's closer to 12 yards than it is 11. So we're going to call it 2nd and 12.
There we go. So another 2-by-2 look here for the Fire. Back offset to the left.
And they look it over. It looks like there's going to be and number 99 puts some heat there on Michael Wilson. Gets out to, it looks like, about the 44-yard line. Picks up the yardage they lost, and is going to give them a manageable third down situation here, Chuck.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Wilson, he runs pretty well. He's not a small individual himself, but he tucked that ball and really took off.
That number 99, we're going to get a number for number 99. That was a big hombre.
Yeah, that's Robert Diaz for the Hornets, and we've seen him in the backfield a couple times.
Yeah.
And, getting pressure there on the passing play as well.
Yeah, Robert was putting some pressure on there, and he's a big dude.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so the Fire is looking at 3rd and a long 4. Looks like a 3-by-1 set with the isolation to the left side. Back offset to the left of Wilson. And Wilson looks it over. He gets ready. Takes a snap. There's a quick drop. And he gets the ball out to, looks like number 18, which would be C.J. Talley.
Yep, looks like he was forced out of bounds there by number 32, Marquise Huff.
And that looks like it'd be good for a first down if everything holds here.
Yeah, we did have a flag on the play. It's going to be procedure against the Fire, so that's going to wipe that out. And
it's going to be 3rd and 10, Chuck.
That's right.
So.
Well, 3rd and 9 point something, I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll get the slide rule out.
Right.
Do they still use slide rules? I don't think they do.
NASA, maybe? I
NASA.
really don't know.
Yeah, NASA. That is.
We have supercomputers for that stuff.
That's
now.
true. Or just your pocket calculator.
Yeah, that's right.
So, so it's 3rd and 9 is the official mark here, with 4:42 to go in the first period, 7-0 in favor of the Columbus Fire. Michael Wilson talks to his receiver, gives him some instructions. We're going to have a 3-by-1 set again with the back offset to the left, and he had some instructions there for number 86, Charles Pope. And so is he going to go to Charles? Charles does a
rolls that way.
A stop and go.
Oh, finds the open receiver
and Wilson,
in the middle of the field.
Yeah, number 18, again, that is C.J. Talley, who had the apparent first down catch just the play before.
Yeah, looks like Robert Red finally made the tackle, and a little bit of jawing going on down there.
And Michael Wilson did a great job rolling to his left and resetting his feet to throw that ball downfield.
Well, you know what impressed me, too, was that the receiver did a nice job recognizing that and breaking
and working
that
across
direction,
the field. Yeah,
right. And,
I agree.
quarterback was able to find him drifting across the field. So, yeah, nice job there by the Fire to convert.
And it's always hard for a right-handed quarterback to roll to his left and get his feet set again and to throw. And Wilson did a great job doing that.
Yes, he did. That's right. Nice play.
2x2 set for the Fire. Back offset to his left. That is Dylan Moore. And Moore, a speedster, pops through from the 30 down to almost the 25-yard line. So a nice little pickup there for Moore.
Yeah, that really was. And I'll tell you, Josh Munnerlin, I think, was lucky to catch up to him and just ride him down from behind.
Yeah.
Because, he hit the hole in a hurry.
Because I think if Moore gets in the open field, it's gone.
Yeah, that's right. So I believe, Coach, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Fire's first positive run of the game.
I believe you're right because Justin Head had been in there, number 42, and now he's been replaced by number 10, Dylan Moore. And Moore was impressive on that first run.
Yes, he was. Hit the hole quick.
2x2 set, 2nd and 6. Back offset to the left. And again, he gives it to Moore. Moore is up to the 15, 10. He slips. Oh!
Well, and I'll tell you, without the shoestring tackle there by Stephen Curtis, number 2, that would have been a touchdown.
And I think Moore just he spun on his spin move. He just got tripped up and went down.
Spun out of his shoes there, didn't he?
He sure did.
Yeah.
But he takes the ball down into the red zone at the 7-yard line. And so the Fire in operating zones again, and they give it off. Oh, and it's a little play action fake, and Wilson is going to take it to the corner.
Oh, and finishes it off with a little authority there.
A 7-yard boot, and boy, I tell you what, Wilson laid it to the corner there as he got to the end zone, Chuck.
He really did. He sent a little message there at the end, didn't he?
Yeah. So that moves it out to 13-0 with 2:33 to go here in the first period. The Columbus Fire over the Dayton Hornets.
I'll tell you, we are not disappointed with this Columbus Fire team. We knew they had some athletes and they could play, and boy, they've shown some impressive things here so far with just 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive drive, Chuck. They almost stopped themselves with a penalty and overcame that, and some nice passing and running by Michael Wilson, and he's put the Fire in a good situation here.
Yes, he has. So Jordan Spurlock to attempt the PAT for the Fire.
So Spurlock gets ready, and all the linemen are there this time.
That's a good sign.
Yeah, it's always a good thing. And they get ready for the kick. Snap is high, and number 10, Dylan Moore, is still running around, and he throws it up to the end zone, and that's just going to be knocked down.
Yeah, I'll tell you, they had a chance on that, though. Number 42 for the Fire, that is Justin Head, the running back. He just about was able to save that for a 2-point conversion, but the ball falls harmlessly incomplete. So the Hornets catch a break there, and that's going to make it or leave your score 13-0 with 2:33 to go here in the first quarter.
I think the Hornets, this is a crucial drive here, Chuck. That just, if nothing else, they need to move the ball a good ways down the field, I would say.
That's exactly right. We've talked about that, they need to establish some kind of momentum and just get their, put their signature on this game a little bit, because the Fire have, they are on fire right now.
Yes, they are. So we've got back for the Hornets, number 29.
Yeah, that's Danny Roberts, the defensive back.
And then on the other side, if we can get his number, there's a 2.
I believe that might be 20 Brent Lewis, if I'm not mistaken.
Hey, Chuck, look what I did this time.
Hey, how about that?
Somebody was thinking here.
Yeah, for our listeners at home, Bill has broken out the binoculars. So,
yeah, because if we can't get the number, we'll try to bring it to you.
There you go. So.
And that's 22. Yep.
22. Okay, so yeah, we don't have a 22 on our roster.
Okay, well.
For the player to be named later, so.
He returns it out to the 25-yard line where the Hornets will start there.
Yep, and unfortunately, looks like we've got a Hornet down on the play, and that might be our anonymous returner right now.
Yeah, it could be.
Help to his feet. Looks like he's going to make his way off the field. And, Bill, I think that may be 26 Willie James, actually.
Yeah, I think you're right. That is looking more like a 6. And,
yep, that is.
Yep, so 26. Okay.
Willie being, walking off the field on his own power. But
so we see those.
In some discomfort.
So we see those field glasses really worked on that one.
Yeah, 0 for 1.
0 for 1. We might just leave them there for the rest of the game, I think. Okay, so we've got a 3-by-1 set, 3 receivers in a bunch formation to the right, single receiver to the left, Sawyer with his running back off to his left, and he gives it to, well, we'll see if that's Murray or not.
Yeah, I'll tell you, running hard, there's just not much room there. Big
No.
number 97 for the Fire on the tackle. And
Yes.
that's Demetrius Blessingame, so we've called his name a couple times already
Yeah,
tonight.
Demetrius has been made his presence known. There is no doubt about it. Some fancy-looking pants there for the Fire.
Yeah, that's right. I like that orange.
The orange with the black stripe that kind of loops down from knee to knee. Okay, 3-by-1 set again. 1 receiver to the right for the Hornets. Bunch formation to the left. Running back is offset to the left. And
Ooh.
Sawyer gets...
Yeah, he whipped it in there to Robert Red, but it falls incomplete. Would have been enough for a first down.
Yep. And Robert had time. I think the line did a relatively good job on that, Chuck. Gave him enough to...
Yeah, I think he just led him a little bit too much there and just couldn't quite haul it in.
Right. So that will bring up 3rd and about 9.
So another 3-by-1 look. This time the 3 receivers to the bottom of the field, spread out a little bit. Marshall, the most inside receiver.
And the ISO at the left side of the field. Sawyer looks, he steps up in the pocket, and he's got number 1. He's got Robert Red, and Red slipped down there. I think he's going to be down by contact about the 41-yard line.
Yeah, I'll tell you, a little mix-up in coverage there for the Fire because he was pretty open there. And nice job there by Sawyer recognizing that and getting the ball down the field. So Robert Red's going to have a first down here for the Hornets. First down just outside the Fire 40-yard line.
And Red just lost a wheel there as he started to cut back into the middle of the field.
Yeah, little slip on the little turf monster guy.
And, you know, when the turf gets – that's the one thing about turf is when it gets real warm, it can get slippery.
That's exactly right. The humidity, hangs around down there. And we know it's hot on the field. So
2-by-2 set here with Sawyer in the gun. Running back Tristan Murray off to his right. And Sawyer gets ready, and he takes it, and he gives it to Murray, and Murray hits it hard, 44 inside the 40 down to the 38-yard line where he'll be stopped.
Yeah, again, Murray's showing that really good leg drive there. And number 11, Derek Samuels, the linebacker on the tackle, but not before he picks up a good 5 yards. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 10 here.
Yeah, a nice run. And so that's the end of the first quarter. 13-0 to Columbus Fire over the Dayton Hornets. And, Chuck, it's been spirited, if nothing else.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You know,
and really, if you take away the turnover,
right,
it's a one-touchdown game.
That's exactly right. And the Hornets now are trying to get something put together here. So,
right.
And they've crossed midfield for the first time this game. So let's see if they can finish this drive and get some points on the board. Yeah,
and, of course, water is going to be key here, especially with being a midsummer football game. The potential for cramps is going to increase as this game goes on. So
that's exactly right. And, you know, like I mentioned earlier, I think we really need to see in the 3rd and 4th quarter where the the hydration and conditioning is going to pay off, and we'll see who's better prepared for this game. And
this is just such an oppressive type of environment, especially for the linemen.
Oh, that's exactly right.
And so that they're going to have to fight through this, and really, like you just mentioned, I think the heat factor is going to really tell the tale of this game in the second half with the big guys.
Exactly. Yep, and we've already seen a lot of really aggressive defensive line play on both sides of the ball for both teams. So, that I'm not sure that can continue at this rate.
Well, and when the offensive line's legs start to get heavy, because they're chasing these quick defensive linemen, it starts to wear on you. I mean, most people think, well, they're not running very far, but
right.
They're taking a blow every play, and
exactly,
and it does catch up with them. So, Hornets come out at the 39-yard line.
And I will say, Bill mentioned real quick, one thing I think they've done today also, we're using a running clock, and I think that is probably because of the heat.
Yes, and that's probably a good thing for the health of the players involved. Nick Black motions left to right, and he comes inside, and they get the ball out to
Yeah, it just falls incomplete. Nick bobbled it a little bit there.
About the 34-yard line. Nick slid underneath it, and he couldn't control it. Would have been a nice pickup, making a very makeable third down situation had he been able to catch it.
And I'll tell you, keep an eye on that combination route that
Yes.
just ran there, Bill.
Yes, I
Jalen
saw it.
Marshall looked like he broke open down the field there, so wouldn't be surprised if the Hornets come back to that one.
Yeah, they ran a little underneath the in and out, and then Marshall was just testing the waters deep. And as you say, they will look at that again here, I would say, maybe relatively soon.
Right.
Okay, 3-by-1 set, 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Sawyer in the shotgun, Murray off to his left, and Sawyer takes a drop. He's got a lot of pressure, lots of heat, and the Fire did turn up the heat on that one.
Yeah, that's right. I'll tell you, big number 80 for the Fire made the initial contact and ended up on the tackle. That is, get a name for you here. Well, we don't have 80 on our roster.
And number 11 also was in on that.
Yeah,
Chuck.
Derek Samuels helped finish him off, that's for sure. But so again, the Fire stiffen here and force the Hornets into a punting situation. We're going to see Angel Soto trot back onto the field here.
Yep. And, of course, Angel, as we've talked about, has had his issues with the punting game. But not bad the first time. I mean, it was positive, and that's what he's got to do. He's just going to have to get the ball downfield. And
I'll tell you, I will say one thing. Angel does do one thing well. He does get the ball in the air.
Yes.
And, again, the further he can kick it, the more hang time he's going to get. But,
and it's
see some pressure.
And I don't think this was planned by any means.
I don't either. And Angel just bad snap, trying to make something happen there.
And the pressure got to him, and he tossed it up, and it just fell incomplete, which means the Fire will be taking, unless there's a penalty here. Looks like they might have had illegal man down. Well, that's the cover guys were downfield, Chuck.
Yeah, and that tells you right there it was not a design fake.
Yeah.
So obviously that'll be declined, and the Fire will get the ball back here.
Yes, they will.
1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line.
Yeah. And, that happens. You see it in high school. You even see it in the NFL when you have a botched snap on a punt and the big guys kind of wander downfield thinking they're in coverage, and turns out that they're not.
Exactly.
So, nice crowd here at John Q. Sherman Field on the campus of Chaminade Julienne High School. And, I was kind of, you got to give these fans some credit, Chuck, because it's kind of an oppressive day heat-wise.
Well, I'd say not kind of.
It is. So, 2-by-2 set here for Columbus. Michael Wilson with his running back offset to his right.
And
it looks like
Hornets
that.
got a lot of people around the line of scrimmage here.
Yeah. And that's number 5, Renault Thomas.
So third different back we've seen so far for the Fire.
And that's probably smart, Chuck. With
a day like today, that's right.
Yeah.
Mix them up and get some fresh legs in there. Look like big number 96, James Frazier on the tackle for the Hornets.
Renault is 5'10", 210 pounds. So he's a pretty big running back there.
Yes.
And that's about a 3-yard gain, setting up 2nd and 7 from the Fire's 47-yard line. So Michael Wilson brings them out in a 2-by-2. And it looks like we still have Renault Thomas in at running back. He is positioned to the left side of Wilson. And we've got a little early action here. And I would say this is on the Fire, yeah.
Pointing, but yeah, it is going to be on the Fire. Number 18, just a little
C.J. Talley.
Yeah, C.J. a little bit of movement before the snap there. And, of course, Robert Red helping the official out there, just saying it was him.
Yep.
And they agree.
And so that's going to make it, looks like about 2nd and 13 now, Chuck. So it's a little bit more difficult situation for the Fire as they come out in a 2-by-2. And so Wilson looks it over, has his back offset to his left. He takes a quick drop in the middle of the field to number 19.
I'll tell you, he was wide open there.
And Rico Little, the tight end, boy, he had an opportunity to make a big play there.
He did. I think his eyes were pulled away from the football.
I think he knew the middle of the field was open,
right.
Chuck.
Yep. And
I think if Little catches that, I don't know that he's going to score, but I'll tell you what, they would have been down inside the 20, most likely.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, definitely would have been a first down and everything else, but they're just not able to hold on. So that's going to make it third and about, we'll call it 12.
And we've got 2 by 2, or no, it's going to be a 3 by 1, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Wilson sets his back to the left, and he looks it over. And there's the snap, takes the drop, quick drop, and he gets the ball. Whoa, the ball's up in the air, and after it comes off the Hornet defender.
Yeah, a little tip drill action there.
Number 23, Robert Cube.
Yeah, comes down with the football. And I'll tell you, nice concentration there by 23 for the Fire to reel that in.
And that's enough, just enough for a first down, too. So that keeps that drive alive for the Fire.
Yeah, couldn't have worked out any better for Columbus on that one.
So they are now at the 45-yard line of the Hornets. And so Fire comes out in a 2 by 2 set with a new set of downs. Wilson with Renault Thomas in the backfield with him. Wilson gets ready for the snap. He takes it, and that could have been a little early movement there, but Renault Thomas shows a little shiftiness at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
but
he did until big Josh Davis just met him in the hole and stood him up there. Boy, nice play by Joshua Davis with the tackle.
All for naught for all the fancy footwork there.
That's right, yeah.
So it's going to be insignificant, probably a 2nd and 9 here from the 44-yard line of the Hornets. So the running game, I guess Dylan Moore has been the most successful thing for the Fire as far as running the ball. And then, of course, Michael Wilson had his 7-yard touchdown scamper when he had a little play action and pulled the ball and went on that.
That's right.
A little read action. Okay, so 2 by 2 set. Wilson gets ready to call for the ball. He takes a drop. He looks. And he's getting a little pressure. He rolls to his left. He's still getting pressured. He gets the corner, but it's only able to turn it into about a 2-yard gain. Yeah, I guess they're going to rule it about a 4-yard gain down to about the 40-yard line of the Hornets. So it improves the situation a little bit for the Fire. It's going to bring it up to about a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, it does. And I'll tell you, the Hornets need to do a little better job on contain on the end there. That's the second time he was able to get the edge. So,
Wilson is a big
outside that pocket.
Yeah, and Wilson's a big kid at quarterback there, and he's got some pretty good speed when he got outside.
Yeah, I think he's a little faster than the Hornets think he is.
Yes, I would agree with that. So Wilson, and we'll see if we can maybe pull up some numbers on Wilson's size. In one of our rosters here, I believe we'll be able to do that. But we've got a 2 by 2 set with the running back offset to the left of Wilson. And Wilson gets ready for the snap, takes the snap. He looks, he sprints to his right. Now he decides to keep it. It's up to the 40, over to 35, down over to the 30-yard line. Looks like he's going to be down to about the 28 where it's going to be.
We've got holding coach against the Fire, so all for naught, unfortunately. Another nice job by Wilson to tuck it under and pick up some yards, but again, unfortunately this time it will not count.
Yes. So as they set the ball, and that's going to be a costly penalty, Chuck, in the 10-yard variety. So that is going to be a dent in the drive for the Fire.
For sure. So that's going to make it 3rd and 15 here, and see what the Fire can dial up here. So again, just over 8 minutes to go here, running clock here today. Again, we talked about probably because of the heat. So 3rd and 15 from midfield, and see what the Fire can do.
Yep. And not a really penalty-filled game, Chuck. It's been pretty well played here. 2 by 2 set, back offset to the left. Wilson takes his drop, a lot of pressure, little screen to Renault Thomas, and Renault Thomas is able to squirt up to about the 28 or 33-yard line.
32-yard line before Robert Reds finally.
And it's a first down.
And that's right. Yep. So they dial up a nice play there on 3rd and long and able to convert.
And a little pop-over screen where you let the offensive line get deep, and then the back just weaves his way out behind him and drops the ball off to him, Chuck.
Yep.
And it looks like it might be a water timeout here.
Actually going to be a fire timeout.
Okay, fire takes timeout, and
I'm sure we'll get water on the fire.
yeah, and I'm
timeout.
gonna, on a first down situation, you got to think that just might be one to
just regroup a little bit
and give them a little
take
bit of
a
a break.
second and,
Yeah, because with the fire defense, this is an important drive, Chuck, because they've not given up a lot of points.
That's right.
And if they can, go up 19-0, 20-0, it really is going to be an uphill battle for the Hornets in the second half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And again, we talked a lot about momentum in the Hornets earlier, and the Hornets were just starting to get things turned around. It looked like, but again, this could be a real momentum killer.
So if you're the Hornets, you need to step up, get some pressure on Wilson. Wilson, his escapability has been very impressive. He's got out of pressure a couple times and turned them into gains. And the Hornets have to capitalize on those chances when they can get him in the backfield.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Again, we've seen a couple 3rd and long conversions out of the fire too. And like you said, the Hornets need to get a little bit more of those working in their favor.
Yep, they sure do. So we've got TJ working the switcher here today. And how's it going there, TJ?
It's all right.
Okay, we're getting some good shots.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The
We will
confidence is overwhelming at this point.
We will know when we get a shot at taking a look at that on Campus Nation.
That's right.
Okay, TJ, of course, is out at Hocking College where we worked with him during the spring game.
That's exactly right.
Okay, so 2-by-2 set. Wilson gets ready for the ball.
Hornets showing pressure.
And it looks like we've got another running back in there, and we're going to get that number in a minute. It was a very short gain, if at all.
Like we talked about, the Hornet D-line is just getting tremendous amounts of penetration there.
33, yeah. And number 33, Denzel Matlock, was the running back. So that's our 4th running back that we've seen, Chuck. And
yeah, that's right. They've been kind of a revolving door back there for the Fire.
Yeah.
But, again, the results have been, with the exception of the one running back, the results have been pretty much the same.
Yeah. And I would suspect in the second half we're going to see more back in there because he's definitely a threat when he has the ball in his hands.
That's for sure.
So Michael Wilson looks at a 3-by-1 set with the 3 receivers to the right. A little X route. He goes to the ISO route on the backside to number 3, Cameron Jackson.
Yeah, it just falls incomplete, though. And I tell you, the ball was on him, though.
Yep. Yeah, Jackson should have come up with that ball, and unfortunately for the Hornets, he didn't. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 11 here. And 6:18 to go, second quarter. 13-0 in favor of the Fire, and as Chuck said, it's a running clock here because of the heat.
That's right. So another 3rd and long situation for the Fire. Let's see how they convert.
Yep. And so it's going to be 3 to the right, 1 to the left for the Fire. Michael Wilson sets his back. Number 33, Denzel Matlock, off to his left. And, well, you know what? I think the left guard moved before the Hornets.
Yeah, I think the Hornets might have been drawn off. We'll see what the official call is. But, no, they do call it against the Fire.
Wow.
Against the Hornets, excuse me. So
yeah. That's when we need the replay on that one because I thought I saw movement on the line before the
Well, you
Hornet.
wonder. I mean, you had multiple Hornets move, and so you're right. I mean, chances of that,
Yeah. Oh, well.
But
So that's going to bring
doesn't really matter, does it?
3rd and 16.
No, it's on.
It's on the.
on the Hornets.
I'm
That's
sorry, it's
gonna
on the
make it 3rd and
Hornets.
6.
3rd and 6. So it makes it a much more makeable situation here on 3rd down.
That's right.
And I would even say it's 4 down territory here, Chuck, because.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Although we don't know what their kicker's range is, but I mean, even regardless, they're going to probably be in a situation where they got 2 downs to make this 3-by-1 set. Okay, well, we got some movement again, and
This
it's
time, yeah.
and
so we're moving on the Fire this time. So we're right back where we started.
Rico Little, the tight end, the flex tight end, I should
just
say.
a little bit of a lean there, I guess, out of Rico.
I think so. So it's back to 3rd and 11, Chuck.
Right back where we started.
We're right back where we started, and 5:21 to go here in the second period. Okay. Michael Wilson gets ready to take the snap. He takes it. He looks. He finds number 3 over the middle. That is Cameron Jackson.
Oh, nice move by Cameron Jackson to get open and just break open there for the touchdown.
Wow, just some nice quickness by Cameron Jackson.
That's exactly right. Showing some really quick feet to get away there, and that pushes it to 19-0 now with just over 5 minutes to go in the half.
And Chuck, I think we've seen this. The Fire staff must have picked up something in the middle because they've been testing that middle of the field.
Yeah, they have. You're right.
And a couple plays before they had a drop, but they knew that there was something there, and
Right, it's open.
and they capitalized on it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the Hornets have been running a one deep safety look, and
Right.
Again, that one guy just can't cover the whole middle of the field. I guess you need to maybe get him some help back there.
And Wilson's been working that, as you say, with the one high safety like that. Wilson has been working that alley between the corner and the safety, and it paid off
Another
for him.
bad snap.
And that's number 10, Dylan Moore.
This time he just keeps it and runs it around the left side for a 2-point conversion. So
And
that pushes it to 21.
And we talked about Dylan Moore's speed, and
Yeah, we did.
And I believe that was probably a designed fake. One of the big guys feeling good about himself there.
That's right. So
That was number 70, Demisius Brown, and Demisius just apparently wants some extra conditioning on that play, Chuck.
yeah, that's right. Somebody tell that big guy it's too hot for that kind of stuff tonight.
Most big
He just
guys
ran about 40 yards. He didn't have to.
most big guys turn that opportunity down when it presents
That's
itself.
exactly right.
So 5:07 to go here in the second period. 21-0 in favor of the Columbus Fire, who are undefeated at 6-0, ranked number 1 in the power ratings in the Premier Amateur Football League. The Hornets are in, of course, Tier 2, and they are ranked. They're ranked number 4, Chuck, just in front of the Cincinnati Chiefs, who they knocked off
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I just kind of have a feeling that you might see another Chiefs and Hornets rematch sometime there in the playoffs.
Boy, wouldn't that be exciting?
Yeah, the rubber game.
That's right, because they're 1-1 this season, so
Yep,
that would be a great playoff matchup.
it sure would be. So we've got Jordan Spurlock kicking for the Fire. He looks both sides. He gets ready, approaches. There's the kick, and he drives it down to about the 25, and it takes a big bounce down to the 16. And that is, I believe, is that number 26? The one that my field glasses failed on?
Unfortunately, that's 22, our unknown players. So
Okay. So we did have a 22, so maybe my field glasses didn't fail me on that after all.
okay.
So
Again, just inside 5 minutes to go, here, folks, in the half, and again, your score: Columbus 21, Dayton 0,
yeah.
with 4:58 to go.
So Evan Sawyer, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. He has his running back Tristan Murray offset to his right, and they need to get one on the board here, Chuck.
Yeah, they really do. You're right. Just to kind of hang their hat on something here in this first half.
Looks like pressure. Oh, and Murray is just met in the backfield, about 4 yards deep, Chuck. That's a big loss there.
Yes, it was. Big number 6, Maurice Dowse, the defensive end, with a nice play there. And again, we talked about Tristan Murray earlier, but that time he just didn't have an opportunity to get his feet going.
No. Yeah, he was met in the backfield about 4 yards deep, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14 from the Fire 30. I'm sorry, the Hornet 37.
Yeah, not a good start to the drive for the Hornets. Let's see if they can correct something here.
And again, we've got a 3 to the left, 1 to the right set. Sawyer has got Murray off to his left, and he's looking things over. Gets the ball, 4-man rush, steps up in the pocket, and and they were looking for Jalen Marshall on that.
Yeah, really just I think he just had to get rid of it, though, and put it way over Jalen's head. Jalen never had a chance to even make a play on the ball.
And the defense let him know he was there. They chipped him a little bit as he went through there.
They did.
And, just a little, hey, welcome to the Premier Amateur Football League, right? So I'm really kind of surprised with Jalen that we haven't seen him more in the return game, which was something he specialized in at Ohio State as a punt returner.
That's exactly right. And, we know he's got game-breaking abilities. So
Yeah, and you got to get the ball in his hands.
That's right.
So we've got a 3-by-1 set, a bunch to the left, one single receiver to the right. Sawyer in the shotgun with Murray off to his left. And he gets ready, takes the snap. Sawyer drops. He steps up in the pocket. Ooh! Throws it over the middle, just over the 50-yard line.
Intended for Derek Kane, but I'll tell you, the Fire made a nice break on that ball. I didn't get the number of the defensive player, but they just about had another pick there.
Yeah, the safety just came flying in there and was just a second away from having another pick.
Yeah, he sure did.
So 3:38 to go in the second period. 21-0 in favor of the Columbus Fire. Back deep for Columbus is number 10, Dylan Moore, who himself, in his own rights, is a very dangerous player, as we've seen.
That's right.
And number 23, Rodney Coop.
So, last time Angel had a rough snap and had to end up trying to make a play. Let's see what happens this time.
And a lot of pressure coming from the right.
Another bad snap.
Oh, my goodness.
And this time Angel has to just hold it again. And it's tackled by number 24, Trayvon Chavis.
Yep.
And,
and that's definitely not what the Hornets needed in that situation.
Exactly right. We knew that the Fire would probably have decent field position, but sure even they didn't think it'd be this good.
No, not at all. So, 25-yard line of the Hornets is where the Fire will take over again. And, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they try to work on the ground game a little bit, Chuck, which is, Dylan Moore's in the game, so they might just be doing that. So Dylan Moore is offset to the left of Michael Wilson.
Again, like we talked about, he's definitely been the most successful of the Fire backs today.
Yes, and they had a scintillating two-point conversion run. So.
That's right.
2-by-2. Wilson takes the drop. He's getting a little pressure and broken up nicely there by the Hornets. Number 22, I don't think.
Again, our unnamed player, but again, with a nice job there and nice tight coverage.
Yeah. And that ball was zipped in there, intended for number 18, C.J. Talley.
Give Dylan more credit. He stepped up and made a nice block there on the left end.
And he's not a big guy.
No, he's not. That's right. But stuck his nose in there and split the numbers and did a nice job on the Hornets defender.
Yeah, Dylan, he's not a real tall guy, but I'm looking at the size of his thighs, Chuck. He's got some huge thighs on him there.
Yeah, he does.
He's kind of like a Darren Sproles kind of player. Okay, Wilson gives it to Moore. Moore bounces right, left, back up. He scoots through there from the 25 almost down to the 20. There was nothing there, Chuck.
What did I count? Four jump cuts right there?
Yeah, jumped right, jumped left.
That was a nice little run there.
Yeah, squirted forward.
One of the prettiest 4-yard runs I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's one of those highlight reel runs for a 4-yarder.
That's right.
Okay, so we've got 3rd and 6. And we've got 2:38 to go here in the second period. And, I guess this is, again, we don't know what the distance of the field goal kicker is for Columbus, but they're definitely in some kind of scoring territory here.
Oh, for sure.
And Wilson takes a drop. He looks to the middle of the field again. He gets out, and he's going to be dragged down this time.
Yeah, this time he can't get away. And
a big loss, number 31 for the Hornets.
Yep, and if I'm not mistaken, that's big number 99, Robert Dias again with a nice play.
Yeah.
If I take that back, that's 96. That's James Frazier this time.
And number...
James just wraps him up there.
Yep.
And had a little help there. I didn't get the other number, but...
number 31 was the other player that was...
31, okay. So that's Shandell Holloway. And, again, they did a nice job there wrapping him up.
Yeah, and that ball is now back on the 34-yard line. That was a huge play for the Hornets. That's going to make it nearly... looks like it's going to be 4th and 20 or 19, Chuck.
Yeah, like we talked about, they were in really good position to score some kind of points there, and now they're, I doubt they have a field goal kicker that can kick this.
If he does, he'd be in another league probably.
That's probably true. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're looking at a 52-yarder here. So.
Yeah. But, we one of these games, and I don't remember which one it was, we were watching one of the kickers had a pretty live leg, and a big guy. Remember they had a big kicker, and
Is that Butler County maybe?
maybe it was. It might have been the Butler County guy. It was just he was kicking him from a good distance, although I don't know if 52
I don't know
would have
about
been.
this far.
Yeah, I don't know if 52 would have been in there unless they want to borrow somebody from the World Cup. So
That's about over, isn't it? Maybe they could.
hopefully it is. Portugal was in danger of losing today.
No, I didn't know that.
And nobody did.
I didn't know Portugal was in the tournament. Who did they almost lose to? The United States?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Is it too soon? Yeah, I don't suspect that anybody cared about that, but
But
that was the
I'm sure somebody does.
that was the lead story on the sport news there on XM, and I'm thinking, why is this why is this relevant to anybody
Well,
outside of Portugal?
90% of the rest of the world probably cares.
That's probably true. That's probably true. And of course, this is the elimination round, which the United States did not get to the elimination round.
They didn't make it to the tournament, Bill.
No, they did not. They got eliminated.
They did.
2x2 set for Wilson. He's got Dylan Moore in the backfield. He's looking it over. And one safety in the middle again, Chuck. Oh, and they get it to Moore on a little screen over the middle. He's up to the 25. He goes back to the 27.
Just
And
trying to make a play, giving some yards.
yeah.
Ended up getting tackled there. And,
Who can blame him on that situation?
Yeah,
yeah?
4th and long, he's just trying to make a play. And, like you said, you can't fault the kid too much on that one. And but that is going to lead to a turnover. So the Hornets,
they
were
did
able
what they
answer
needed
the
to
call there. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So they're going to take over with just inside 2 minutes to go, 1:49 left in the half. Again, down by 3 scores, and trying to see if they can dent the board for the first time.
See if Evan Sawyer can get some kind of offense going here. 2x2 set with Tristan Murray setting himself to the left side of Evan Sawyer. Sawyer looks it over, and Columbus, as expected, is playing a little bit of a soft. Wow, we had all sorts of...
something was definitely wrong there.
Yeah. And that was it number 16 that...
It's Quentin Gaden Sr., but that was 18.
Or 18.
Actually. Yeah,
18.
Nick Black, but it doesn't matter.
It was a little practice catch there.
Right. Yeah. It was pretty.
Yeah, it was.
All for naught.
That's right. So they'll redo it. And they're going to call Columbus being offsides on that, Chuck. So
Okay, so
1st and 5.
Not quite sure how that happened, but
Well, you know what? It is what it is.
that's exactly what it is.
So we've got 2x2 set. Evan Sawyer. They're going to run a little twins up to the right there. They're in a stack. And then they've got 2 receivers down to the left. And they bring Black in motion. And we saw this play earlier where Jalen Marshall.
Yeah, same kind of look. And I'll tell you, that was, wow.
There was
been a really great play by number 25, Rashad Barksdale, because it's pretty close to interference there on Marshall. But
there was 3 white jerseys around Marshall there.
Yeah, there was, but he has the opportunity to catch the football.
Yeah, he does, and that was a little smash route with the underneath and then
exactly.
the corner.
Little 2-man combo.
Yep. Okay, so we got 3x1 set, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Sawyer with Murray offset to his left. Gets ready for the ball with a 2nd and 5 situation. And he gives it to Murray, and Murray squirts through all the way up to the 38-yard line.
Be a first down. Good.
Yeah, a 39-yard line, and that is a first down for the Hornets, and they're in business, Chuck.
That's right.
But they're going to have to hurry up here because they don't have a lot of time. Okay, 2x2 set. They apparently had 2 plays called. Okay, Marshall motions left to right. And then Sawyer just bails out. There was all sorts of bad going on there
I'll tell you, dangerous throwaway there by Sawyer. He needs to throw that out of bounds. I know he was, kind of had his feet in a bad situation there, but that throwaway could have very easily been an interception.
Well, those Columbus linemen were coming with bad intentions there.
That's for sure.
And, they were going to do harm to Sawyer if they could get their hands on him. Big number 95, Tyrell Bird. And let's see, number 55 was the other culprit there, Marcus Allen. Oh, that's a famous football name there.
Yes, it is.
And so we've got
This is not the same one.
No, it is a little bit bigger than that, Marcus Allen. 3 to the left, 1 to the right. Sawyer has Murray set off to his left. Gets ready, and he looks, and he gets the ball to number
Red
1, and there's wide open. Oh, and a little move by Robert Red, and Red is still going all the way down to the 12.
Move by Red there to get a few more yards. Looked like he was going to go out of bounds, but cut it back in. And
down to the 12-yard line.
That's right. So 1:11 to go here. The Hornets are in good position. Real quickly, let's just remind our listeners, you're listening to us on 106.9 LPFM out of Jeffersonville and also on Campus Nation.
WZAA. The ZA. And Campus Nation, of course, will bring you all sorts of football action as we're bringing you the PAFL this summer. And we will have the college game of the week coming up here pretty soon,
right.
Chuck.
The schedule's almost finalized, and be ready to announce that on the website here coming up. And,
we sure will.
Exciting news.
Yep.
Looking forward to another exciting fall of football. But, of course, right now we're engrossed in the summertime football of the PAFL, and
little
Dayton Hornets here knocking on the door.
2x2 set for Sawyer. Murray off to his right. Gets ready. Motions Jalen Marshall. Gives it to Murray. Murray's up to the 10, over the 10, down to the 7-yard line as he slants off tackle to the left. And all eyes were on Jalen Marshall as he motioned left to right on that shot.
Well, it's funny, Bill, you mentioned that because when you said he had triple coverage on that pass play, it made me think, that
take advantage of that.
To use him as a decoy a little bit, and that's exactly what they did there, and got a nice gain out of it.
Yep, for sure. So timeout by Dayton, and 56 seconds to go here in the second period, and this would be really big because the Fire just don't give up points, Chuck.
No, that's exactly right, and like we talked about, the Hornets have kind of dug themselves a little bit of a hole here, down 3 scores, and anything they can get on the board here will be a positive sign going into halftime.
And then, it comes back to, how turnovers change the complexion of a game. And that pick 6 in the very first quarter, if...
Yeah, in fact, I don't think the game had a complexion at that point.
Right.
So early. But,
right.
But you're right. That was a big blow early, big body shot by the Fire.
And if the Hornets are able to score here, just imagine if they hadn't turned the ball over for 6 there, we've got a 1-touchdown game going into halftime.
That's exactly right.
So they can make the mountain a little bit shorter here if they're able to put the ball in. And we've got 2nd and goal from looks like about the 7-yard line. So Murray brings them out, and they're in a bunch formation to the right. And they have Robert Red in a single receiver set to the left, trying to isolate him. Murray gets a play action fake by Sawyer. He looks.
Yeah, touchdown pass to number 95. That's Miguel Fawcett, and the Hornets get on the board.
Yep, big play for the Hornets. It's now 21-6 with 54 seconds to go. And, that was a nice job as
Fawcett on the reception.
Fawcett was able to work the back line of the end zone and just settle down there, Chuck, and Sawyer found him.
Yep, that's exactly right.
So a nice drive there, needed drive by the Dayton Hornets. And, of course, well, it'd be interesting to see what Columbus decides to do here as the kick is up, and it is good by number 88, Cameron.
Yeah, that's Cullen Bradley.
Or Cullen Bradley.
The kicker for the Hornets.
Cullen Bradley, right. So, kickoff here for the Hornets. And so, Chuck, what do you think the Fire's thinking here? Is this okay? We're up 14. We're not going to do anything too dangerous here to close out the half.
I think that's exactly right, Bill. The Fire need to be careful that they don't, make a mistake and let the Hornets back in this thing. And
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe that the Hornets will kick off to start the half. So the Fire's going to have the football coming back out.
Right.
And, so they don't want to do anything silly to put themselves in a bad position here, especially when they're going to get the ball to start the second half anyway. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe another different Fire running back or maybe just another one that we've already seen. But you never know.
Well, and Dylan Moore's back deep here to the right. And I guess what changes your philosophy is if this ball comes down and the Fire are able to return it over the 50-yard line and get in a scoring situation. So I think this kickoff return is really important for the Hornets to hem in anything from being a huge gain.
Yep, I agree.
Oh, and a nice kick. Drives it into the end zone.
Yeah, really nice kick by Bradley.
And it looks like he's going to take a knee. Yeah, so Moore takes a knee, and that probably spells the end of the half here because I can't imagine, unless they just happen to pop a running back into the line and he breaks it through, Chuck, this is probably going to be a pretty quick last minute.
Well, you never know. If Dylan Moore's back at running back, it could happen.
Yeah.
We know he's shown the breakaway ability.
He sure has. So they come out and they're looking, and it just kind of looks like the heat is wearing both sides down a little bit, Chuck. So, okay, so.
And 1st and 10 from their own 25 for the Fire coming out here. Again, 45 seconds to go in the half. And the Fire up 21-7.
And I just Columbus is just taking their time here, Chuck, and
and I expect their whole series will probably resemble
take
this.
time. Yes.
All right, so Thomas back in the backfield.
Yep, Renault Thomas and Michael Wilson is just getting ready there, and he takes the snap, he takes a drop, and they're going to test it deep, man. Just
Ooh.
Number
well,
3, Cameron Jackson.
And I'll tell you, Jackson had a step, but
Cameron's been kind of off and on. He had that great run, but he had a couple now that he's dropped when he's had opportunities. So he's got to capitalize on those, Chuck, because quarterbacks remember those.
That's exactly right. But again, the Fire showing they're not
not
about backing down.
Just did it completely the opposite of what Chuck and I thought they were going to do there. But, that's why they're national champions.
That's why we're in the booth.
That's right. But we don't make those decisions anymore. Okay, so it's going to be 3 receivers to the right, single receiver to the left. Wilson looks it over, and he's got his running back off to the left. I think that's Renault Thomas. And Wilson rolls to his left. He's under lots of pressure. And a smart play there. He just turns and whips it out of bounds, and there was just nothing there, Chuck.
No, that's exactly right. But, I'll tell you, the Fire need to be thinking about the fact that it's now 3rd and 10. And,
yes, I agree.
There is still some time left. And, the Hornets showed on the last series they're not done by any means. So
No, and you never know if you have to punt with enough time left. Dayton may pin their ears back, go for the block, and create a situation.
Or maybe a situation like you talked about where we see Jalen Marshall back there receiving the punt.
Exactly. And that can't be a good feeling for the Fire if they see that.
I certainly wouldn't think so.
So 3-by-1 set, and single receiver to the left, 3 to the right, and Thomas isn't. Oh no, it's Dylan Moore and a little screen.
Again.
Oh.
Yeah, a little too high, and Moore just couldn't bring it down. So
and only 5 seconds off the clock,
yeah,
Chuck.
so this is exactly the worst scenario that we talked about. It's now 4th and 10, and there's still time on the clock, and the Hornets are set to receive.
And look who's been
17 enters the game.
Number 17 is back. Now, I think if I'm Columbus, I might just kick the ball out of bounds, Chuck.
I certainly would not kick it in the direction anywhere of number 17.
No, because Or, is the challenge, hey, we're not going to let Jalen Marshall beat us, but in a 14-point game, I don't know if you want to take that chance.
Yeah, I think that's rolling the dice.
I would say you're right about that. And it looks like that the Hornets are going to be jamming hard here. And they did a great job on jamming on the first punt of the game. Yep.
Two gunners to the top.
They got two gunners. They're going to have to get somebody over there, but
yeah, they finally.
And there's the snap, and there's the kick. Spurlock gets it off.
Marshall's not going to get a chance.
And it starts rolling back, but it's a nice field position, 24 seconds to go.
About their own 45-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able to complete a big pass into the middle of the field, there is that opportunity, Chuck, that they'll get a couple shots at the end zone here. And if I'm Columbus, I'm got two guys trailing number 17 all over the place.
Oh, yeah. We like we talked about earlier, we've seen situations where he's had triple coverage. So
right.
I'm sure he won't be neglected.
Right. And, of course, and these are the great situations in football history when everybody's expecting the pass and they run a draw play and the back breaks it for, 30 yards. And with 24 seconds, you could still have 12 seconds to go or,
Oh, yeah, you're right. I mean, anything's on the table at this point.
Right. So 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Jalen Marshall's got the ISO here. And he has got Dylan Moore, I think, is covering him there.
That's exactly right.
Got a little speed on speed there. A cover 2 set. And, wow, he looked like Jack Dundee on that one as he took off a little bit too early.
I don't know that reference, Bill.
It was a movie with Robin Williams when he was a football player in high school, and he.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Kurt Russell.
The best of times.
Best of times. Yeah.
And he took off a little early there, and everybody in the stadium knew it. So. Okay, so we've got a 3 to the right, 1 to the left. And Sawyer is got Murray in the backfield with him, as usual. And there's 22 seconds to go now. And Sawyer looks, he steps up in the pocket, he had hands on him, and gets, oh, no!
Yeah, strip.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, and he made a football move, Chuck. He turned.
Yeah, he
so
did Fawcett. I think it was Fawcett on the catch. And, just trying to fight for yards and get stripped. So, the Fire get a break here.
Yeah, and then that's just, that could be huge. 11 seconds to go. You don't have a lot of time, but it only takes, it's just one big play here, Chuck.
Yeah, that's right. The Fire's shown they don't,
they're
not afraid to take a chance here.
And Jordan Spurlock has, on the extra points at least, has shown that he has a decent leg.
Yeah, that's right. Not a lot of time, but you're right. Maybe one big play to get down into field goal range.
If they can get the ball inside the 20, and of course what we've seen in the first half is that the seams in that cover 3 have been vulnerable to the deep pass.
That's exactly right.
So let's see if that's addressed. Maybe a little pressure on the corners, get up in the grill, and not give them any free releases. But
yeah, it looks like they may be playing a too deep, more of a forward look here. Out of the Hornets, but so trying to combat just that situation we talked about, getting down the seams.
Yep, 2x2 by the Fire. Oh, and I think we're going to have a little offsides.
Yeah,
I think that's Lester.
I think you're maybe right there.
Lester Robinson.
There's some finger pointing there out of the Hornets, but
Lester is just, he was anxious to go, Chuck.
Yep.
So, and I
plead his case here, but
Lester's saying no. The official says I'm not buying it, and he turns around and goes the other direction. So with still 11 seconds go, the Hornets pick up 5 yards and a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit closer.
Yeah. And now instead of needing a 20, 25-yard pass, they're looking at a 15 to 20-yard pass.
Right.
Puts them in a potential field goal situation. So we've got a 2x2 set. Michael Wilson with number 33 offset to his left. That is Denzel Matlock. And they get the ball, over to 23. and that's Ronnie Cube.
Yeah, I'll tell you, ruled inbounds, so the Fire's going to have to call a timeout.
And Cube makes the catch, but only for 2 yards. And now 3 seconds ago, Chuck, this has got to be an end zone shot, if anything, to end the half.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill. We're not going to see, I don't think, a long field goal attempt here.
You wouldn't think.
No.
But so here we go. And so I think Dayton utilizes a timeout there to talk about.
I'll tell you, give Dayton credit on the tackle there, Bill. That they were able to force him backwards,
Yeah.
so that didn't count as an out of bounds play.
Right.
And so
right.
the clock kept running, and again, the Fire lost a couple seconds there trying to get their timeout in off the sideline, and that probably cost them maybe another play, another opportunity here.
It would be nice if we had an official here with this heat, with them running the clock. I wonder in the second half if there's a different consideration if they go back to regular time on that. So
yeah, that's a good question.
Because the last 2 minutes they've been running a regular clock, but that might
It
be.
looks like, Bill, we are going to get a field goal attempt here.
Wow. So this is Jordan Spurlock. This will be a 49-yard attempt, Chuck. So this, maybe 50. It looks like they're going to spot it on
Pretty
the.
close to 50.
Yeah. This could be very impressive there as there's the snap, the kick.
Blocked.
And,
That's a live ball.
Yeah, it
Picked
is a
up
live
by the
ball.
Hornets.
And he's got the sideline, Chuck. Oh.
Forced out, but I'll tell you, we had some clock issues there, Bill. I don't think the clock ever started.
But I think it'll be a runoff on that one, and
I
that'll.
think it should be. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're going to do. So
Yeah.
that's the half, folks. So your score: the Columbus Fire 21, the Dayton Hornets 7.
I saw what you were going to do there, Chuck. Because there was at one point a Chicago Fire.
Yes, there was. There was an actual Chicago Fire, and I believe the Arena Football League team was the Chicago Fire as well, if I'm not mistaken.
And I think now that you would be a little bit young for this, Chuck, but
Thank you. Yeah, whatever you're going to say, I appreciate that.
the World Football League
Was it the World League team that was the Fire?
had the Chicago Fire.
I think it was the Ryan Fire, wasn't it?
And they were the Fire too.
Yeah.
So
See,
that
I'm not that young, Bill.
that name has been bounced around, and I was going to say USFL, but that team was the Chicago Blitz in the USFL.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I'll have to go with you on that one.
Yeah.
USFL is a little before my time.
Yeah.
But I remember fondly the We Laugh, the World League of American Football. That was the only place to get football in the summertime when I was growing up, and I enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Barcelona Dragons.
Yes,
London Monarchs,
the Scottish Claymores
Ooh, yeah.
and London Monarchs.
Yep.
The Frankfurt Galaxy.
Frankfurt Galaxy.
Yep.
Did I say Barcelona Dragons already?
I don't think you did.
Okay.
So we got Barcelona. Yeah, it was an effort to see how American football would work using a developmental league over there. And
I got to give a shout out to a local player, Stebbins High School grad. The name eludes me at the moment, but I know he was the leading rusher in the World League one season. And
there you go.
For the 49ers.
Okay.
It was Jamal Robertson, I believe, at a Stebbins High School. So,
Okay. Well, and let's take a look at the schedule here, Chuck. And in the Division I tier, Kings is at the Western PA Wildcats. We have we don't have all these names, but we have the Crusaders are at the South Michigan T-Wolves. The Northeast Ohio Predators are playing the Lorain County Nightmare. The Summit Storm is at the Ohio Raiders. And, of course, tonight's game, the Columbus Fire at the Hornets. And, Chuck, if you want to do the Tier 2, I'll let my partner get in a little action on this. Again, we don't have all their city names. But
Tier 2, it looks like the Spartans will be taking on the Saints. We've got a double listing here, it looks like, for the Saints, unless there's...
Well, the Saints, I can clear that up. That is the Pittsburgh Saints that the Spartans are playing.
Okay.
And then you have the Ohio Rage, and I think that's the Ohio Valley Saints, which is the team right down the road.
Not the New Orleans Saints.
No, Drew Brees is not down there in Xenia.
We got the Kings also taking on the Western Pennsylvania Wildcats. We mentioned that one earlier. Crusaders T-Wolves, we mentioned that one.
Some of these are duplicated there.
Yeah, let's see if I can find one Bill hasn't already stolen my thunder on. The Gladiators visiting the War Eagles.
There you go.
The Hurricanes at the Cleveland Patriots. The Polar Bears at the Rams. Broncos at Chiefs. Again, not to be confused with an AFC West matchup.
And that Broncos would be the Butler
County Broncos.
Yeah, Butler County.
At Cincinnati tonight.
Yeah, yep.
And the Steam at the Crush as well. So there you go. That's the rundown for Tier 2. Unfortunately, we don't have any scores to give you any updates.
Yep.
But that's all the action around the PAFL this evening.
That will be in future seasons here as we get that technology to get some other stadiums connected with us. And then last week we had the Columbus Fire 31 and Butler County 17. And as we had said, that was the first double-figure game that Columbus allowed. Actually, only the second game they've allowed a touchdown in.
Right.
So congratulations to Butler County as far in a losing effort, a competitive game here with the defending national champs.
Yeah, we've seen the Broncos. They're tough.
And then we have let's see, the Ohio Raiders 17 and the Northeast Ohio Silverbacks 0, the Pittsburgh Rangers 6 and the Spartans 41, the Detroit Seminoles 14, the Polar Bears 12, the Lorain County Nightmares 20, and the Cleveland Patriots 6. We've got the South Michigan T-Wolves getting upset by the Michigan Hurricanes 23-7. The West PA Wildcats 13, the Cleveland Rams 0, and the Northeast Ohio Predators 32, and I would believe this is the Pittsburgh Saints 0, and we will be up in Cleveland at Euclid Stadium next week to broadcast the Predators against the Pittsburgh Rangers. And Chuck, there's the Tier 2 games if you want to go. Those are from last week.
Last year in Tier 2 action, you had the War Eagles 48 against the Saints 0. The Broncos, I guess this was not Butler County, it must be a different team, beat the Indy. Man, that can't be right because we know the Tornadoes are no longer in existence.
I think what happened there, Chuck, I was looking at this, is I think that the Broncos...
Does that go down as a forfeit, 6-0 maybe?
And I think that's how Butler County and Columbus ended up playing, because I think Columbus had an open date too. So that
makes sense.
That's how they got together.
Yeah, the Broncos, that'd be one score would be 6-0, I think.
Right.
So anyway, other action: the Ohio Raiders 17, the Silverbacks 0, Kings 0, the Pitt Bulls 6, the Pittsburgh Rangers 6, the Spartans 41. You had the Hornets topping the Rage 36-0. Again, the Detroit Seminoles in a close one over the Polar Bears, 14-12, like Bill mentioned. Again, Lorain County 20, the Cleveland Patriots 6, the T-Wolves 7, the Hurricanes 23, and like you mentioned, kind of an upset there. And again, the Western Pennsylvania Wildcats against the Cleveland Rams, 13-0. Of course, not to be confused with Bill's original Cleveland Rams. I'm sure.
Who became the Los Angeles Rams? Who became the St. Louis Rams? Who became the Los Angeles Rams? It's all confusing.
You lost me somewhere there.
So, yeah, there is some nostalgia involved with that there, Chuck. And, we were just talking about one of those teams, if I can find my paperwork here, the Pit Bulls from Canton are the number one ranked team in Division II in the second tier, if I'm not mistaken here. So here you go. These are the top ranked by the PAFL. We have the Tier 1 and Tier 2 power ratings.
Yeah, let's just run through those real quick. Again, in Tier 1, of course, you're starting at number 8, the Pittsburgh Rangers. Again, they're 0-4 on the season. Next up from them, the Lorain County Nightmares are number 7 with a 1-3 record. On top of them, number 6, the Southern Michigan Timberwolves, 1-2. Then you have the Detroit Seminoles, who are 2-1. Then the Ohio Raiders, 3-1. The Western Pennsylvania Wildcats, ranked 3rd, also at 3-1. The Northeast Ohio Predators, who Bill mentioned, we'll see in action next week, 3-1. And, of course, your number one team, according to the PAFL Power Rankings for this week, in Tier 1 are the Columbus Fire. We're getting a look at here tonight, again, with their 4-0 record. As far as Tier 2, the top 10, again, from bottom to top, number 10, the Columbus War Eagles, with a 3-0 record. Then you have the number 9 Northeast Ohio Silverbacks, who are 3-1. Then the number 8 team, the Westmoreland Wolves, with a 2-0 record. Number 7, the Pittsburgh Saints, with a 2-1 record. Then into some local teams. Number 6, the Butler County Broncos, again showing a 3-0 record, but of course we know that they were beaten by the Chiefs. So.
And I think with that, Chuck, is those records only reflect
they
divisional.
Don't seem to reflect.
Yeah, they're only divisional games that they're based on.
But then right above them, you've got the Chiefs, who are 5th at 2-1. And then right above them are, of course, the Dayton Hornets, who we're seeing in action tonight with their 2-1 record. Number 3, the Strabane Spartans, with a 3-1 record. And then the number 1 and 2 teams, both undefeated. Number 2, the Michigan Hurricanes. And number 1, of course, like you mentioned, Bill, the Canton Pit Bulls are the number 1 ranked team in top 2. So, again, a lot of local talent on display there in the PAFL.
Yep. And, of course, Canton's original team, Chuck, was the Canton Bulldogs, which Jim Thorpe played on back in the 1920 season, 1920 or 1921, which the NFL will be coming up on its 100th birthday here within the next few years.
That's right. And, again, like you mentioned, founded right there in Canton, Ohio.
And, of course, that is where the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium has pretty much taken over for the old Fawcett Stadium, which has really been built into a magnificent football facility there. And we'll be hosting the national championship game in 2021 when it comes to Canton for Division III. And, of course, potentially, Chuck, we know one of the Northeast Ohio teams that makes it a pretty regular trip to the Division III national championship game.
Oh, is there a dominant team in Northern Ohio?
A pretty dominant team who's for about the last 25 years has been in a good share of the national title games.
Yeah. You're not referring to the Purple Raiders.
The Purple Raiders of Mount Union, of course. Of course. There would be that potential in 2021 that, Mount Union, they used to get knocked for the fact that because they always had the best record, they would play all the games leading up to the Stag Bowl at home. So they would play 4 home games, and then they would go to Salem, Virginia to play the national title game. Well, in 2021, they may only have to travel about 20 minutes down the road.
That'll be almost a home game for them.
It will be a home game for Mount Union if they're fortunate enough to make it to the title game that year. So some stuff to look forward to. I think with the renovation of Tom Benson Stadium, they want to put these kind of events in there, Chuck.
Yeah, and it really is a top-notch facility. Again, we'll be getting a look at it here in a couple weeks when the NFL has their Hall of Fame game there.
Yeah, we sure will. And interestingly, we saw, speaking of the Hall of Fame, what's your opinion about Terrell Owens basically blowing off that whole event?
I guess kind of the way I look at it is, he spent a long time complaining about it. And, questioning why he was not in. And then when they finally do vote him in, then he basically snubs his nose at it. I can't say I'm a big fan. I mean, I understand that he's got a lot of emotion and, a lot of things at work there. But, Hall of Fame is bigger than any one player and bigger than any one, set of antics or anything else. So, I can't say that I agree with his decision. But
do you think that being somewhat of a self-centered player, do you think that Terrell did it because by doing this, because he's saying he's not showing up, kind of takes some of the focus off the people that are actually going in? That theory has been thrown out there.
Yeah, I guess I don't want to speculate as far as that goes, but like I said, the Hall of Fame is bigger than any one player.
It is.
And bigger than any one day or any one event. So. If that is his goal, I don't think he's going to accomplish that. And I guess all I can say is, I hope maybe he, reconsiders or
learns a lesson. That'll be one of those things that he doesn't understand now, but he may come to regret 20 years from now that he didn't take that opportunity to receive the gold jacket and, be at Tom Benson Stadium for that presentation.
Yep, I agree with you.
A neat story that I heard shared about longtime Philadelphia linebacker and center Chuck Bednarik.
Concrete Charlie.
Chuck Bednarik, when they were doing the Hall of Fame presentations for Joe Montana when he was coming into the Hall of Fame, and Bednarik says, "I'll bet that young punk doesn't know who I am." And he walked over to talk to Joe Montana, and Joe Montana said, "Oh, yeah." And he started citing all these statistics. And Bednarik came back and told all his friends, he said, "Yeah, Joe Montana knows who I am, man." So,
if I'm not mistaken, isn't Montana a Pittsburgh or at least a Pennsylvania guy?
yeah, and you would think he would have.
So he probably grew up watching Chuck Bednarik, or at least was familiar with.
He
the
was
legend. Probably
probably familiar with him, but those are the kind of neat stories you hear about
sure,
the Hall of
yeah.
Fame that when you have that mixing of generations, when guys who probably think, well, this guy doesn't know who I am and that. But I think a lot of people that get inducted are acutely aware of the people that they're in with.
Well, and if they're not, they'll find out soon enough. I always remember John Madden talking about the fact that he thought that at night all those busts would talk to each other and tell stories and share the glory and love of the professional football league. So
John Madden. Gotta love John Madden.
sure do.
And John rode off in the sunset, and he tends to be an object of the internet. I don't know how many times in the last few years they have these false announcements about people dying, and it says John Madden has died, that's the fake news. Of course, we get a lot on the internet and that. So
He'll live forever in my heart. I can tell you that.
yeah, one of the greats, and of course, arguably one of the best booth guys there's ever been in the NFL too. I mean, he for a while took Monday Night Football to a different level when he got on there.
Oh, for sure. The king of the telestrator, right?
Yep.
Not to mention the king of the turducken.
The turducken, yes. And that was, and I've done that, Chuck.
The turducken?
I have done the turducken. Told my wife one year, I said, I'm going to make a turducken. And so looked it up and made it, and turned out pretty good.
I imagine it would.
I do recommend it, by the way.
Good.
If you ever have a chance to try it, turducken is the thing to do. So as we get ready for the second half kickoff, 21-7 in favor of Columbus Fire over the Dayton Hornets. I'm joined here by Chuck Hale and TJ Baker. TJ is going to be running the Campus Nation studio for us down in Hocking.
That's right, the satellite.
And he is going to be bringing you the best of Hocking College sports. If you don't know about Hocking College, it is the only junior college program in the state of Ohio.
That's right, the preeminent junior college football
Yes,
program in Ohio.
it is the preeminent. And so, for those kids that for some reason you couldn't get into a 4-year institution, or whether it be grades or just decided that wasn't for you because of finances, Hocking College does present an opportunity for kids to come play football. And Chuck and I have had the pleasure to go out there several times and do some games, and it's
we sure have, and
it's
quality football.
Yeah, it's a good time out there in Nelsonville, and so if you ever get a chance on a Saturday afternoon in the autumn weather, come on out and watch one of the games out there.
Yeah, we were just down there. It's been a couple months now, down for the spring game, and Coach Al Matthews and the crew do a nice job with that. And
Yeah, they do.
It was a really enjoyable experience.
Yes.
Other than the booth they had us in that day, but
Which is a story for another day, but that was interesting.
yes, it was. So I was wrong, Bill. The Hornets are going to receive the second half kickoff, so
And that's good for the Hornets.
That sure is. They need to try to make something happen here
Yes, it
early,
is.
see if they can't get on the board again here. So
And so I'm going to turn the play-by-play over in the second half to Chuck and let Chuck have a run at the play-by-play here, Chuck. So
all right.
I'll hand off the reins here as Chuck and Rick did the game with you last time, right?
Yeah, he sure did.
Yeah.
And, I'd say I did the game with Rick last time.
Yeah.
Let's say that.
Okay. And then, the ball's down to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it takes
back
a tricky
to
bounce.
15, 20, 25. Back up to the 20. Oh, he's still alive. Over to 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. Cuts back
He
and
steps out of bounds there. That was
about the 41-yard line.
Willie James there, 26 on the return. Nice job by
Yeah.
Willie getting into fire territory. So
The 41-yard line,
that's
Chuck.
where the Hornets will set up 1st and 10 from the Fire 41.
And he just kept his feet moving, Chuck. He got a couple hands on him, but didn't go down and just kept on going forward. And nice game there.
That's exactly right.
And a shout out to our camera girl, of course, Heather Morgan, who has been in MIA there for a while. She's back on the camera. So it's good to see Heather back. Of course, she's a big football fan. She has 2 boys that were very good high school football players. So
Okay.
she is a big fan of Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, too.
Well, nobody's perfect. So. All right, so the Hornets come out in an eye look here. We've got an eye look with twins to the bottom of the field, single receiver off to the right. Sawyer under center.
Looks like we've got a 4-man front for Columbus.
Little ISO play off the left side given to Tristan Murray, and Murray picks up about, we'll call it a 5-yard gain, or we'll call it a 4. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 6 now from the Fire 43-yard line.
And brought down by number 45 for the Columbus Fire.
And it looks like we've got a player down, Bill. Looks like it's 15 for the Fire. That's
number 15, Rico Middlebrook.
okay. So
Rico's looking like he doesn't feel well out there right now.
no, he doesn't. And I'll tell you, given this heat, that's
That's understandable.
easily understandable.
So we are going to make an effort here to.
So Rico's on his feet. That's positive, and he's going to walk off under his own power. So
One of my rosters, that number 45 that made that tackle, is listed as Reggie McLean. So, Reggie, if that is you, nice play on that.
okay.
And we will see if, so we can't, we will see here.
All right. So again, 2nd and 6 here for the Hornets. And again, first half just underway, just over 14 minutes into the 3rd quarter. Say left in the 3rd quarter. Now we're going to have another stoppage here, and let's see.
Looks like we're going to get
just want to make sure the ball's set.
Chuck, we're going to get an old style I formation here.
Yeah, we are again. So same formation, twins to the bottom, I formation, single receiver to the top of the field. Now you've got Marshall in motion from the bottom. Now he comes back to the bottom. This time, quick give to the fullback, and
Number 4.
all over it. They blow it up, and-
But the Hornets recover as
yeah, he was stood up and looks like the ball was knocked out.
as
That
number
was
45 was there again. I'm going to see if I
Antoine Kendall on the carry, the fullback, but again, the ball knocked loose there. All right, so that's going to knock the Hornets back a little bit. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 now for the Hornets from the 41-yard line.
And number 45 is Jamie Arnold, who stripped the ball out there and has been on the last 2 plays.
Okay, so making his presence felt here in the second half.
Yeah, Jamie, nice job there and
For sure.
make things happen.
All right, so looks like the Hornets are going to stick with the I formation here. This time we're going to have twins to the top of the field with a tight end now to the left side.
And you got to think doing this, Chuck, they're trying to set up maybe a play action on a wheel to Jalen Marshall here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So Sawyer under center.
Ooh, that's close.
Fire showing blitz. There's
play
the
action
play
fake.
action.
There's a boot.
Sawyer fires to the sideline where it's like Marshall catches it. He's going to be just short of the first down. We're going to bring up 4th, and we'll call it 2.
Ooh.
Again, Marshall with a nice grab there on the sideline.
Yeah, Jalen got underneath that and scooped that.
He had to, that's right.
And so 3rd and short, and
Now it's going to bring up 3rd and 3, or 4th and 3, excuse me.
4th and 3, yeah.
So I would imagine that the Hornets, given this situation, will probably go for it. But, again, I mentioned it in previous games. We covered the Hornets. This might be a perfect situation to take advantage of Soto's punting right here.
Yeah.
A high short kick would be
Yeah.
could be rather advantageous.
Sure. Because, I mean, about a 15-yard kick puts the ball inside the 20, and if they're able, and should be able to cover a 15-yard kick pretty
Right.
quickly. So I agree, Chuck. That could be something to think about. And Jalen Marshall comes out for a
Yeah,
break.
Marshall's out, so number 22, our unknown Hornet, enters the game for Marshall.
The unknown Hornet. You'd be on the Gong Show, Chuck. Was that a little bit before your time, too?
Let's just say I'm familiar with it, but yes, before my time. Maybe Nick at Night, I saw that.
Yes, you could have. You could have.
So again, this time we're back in a shotgun formation now. 2-by-2 look for the Hornets. Again, 4th and 3 from the Fire 33-yard line.
Is that Tristan Murray in the backfield? I
I believe so. Sawyer eyes the defense.
A little pressure coming up the middle here for.
There's the
It's still a
snap.
four-man
Sawyer
rush.
snaps at the
Oh!
Fires. Well, I tell you,
A little bit too much heat on
yeah,
that.
he gave a rocket there to see if we can get the receiver. That's number, I think that's 16. That's
Yeah.
Quentin Gayden Sr. And again, it just got on Gayden too quickly and
And
just couldn't haul it in.
Columbus's front four was putting good pressure on Sawyer, and you could tell he did not feel comfortable in that situation. There.
No, that's right. It was definitely the Fire was a hot situation right there. So,
They were on fire, Chuck.
that's right.
So we've got 10:58 to go here.
Yeah, turnover on downs. So now the Fire take over from their own 33-yard line.
And now we'll see. They've got, looks like number 33 is in at running back. That is Denzel Matlock.
Okay, so Fire come out in a 2-by-2 look here.
And so as being true to the, and it's Matlock. Woo!
Oh, nice little push there. Little assist forward, and he's going to bring it up for about a 9-yard gain.
Yeah. Denzel had a little squirt through there. I mean, didn't look like he was going to get much at first, Chuck, and then he spun off. And
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, Bill. Did you see the push there?
no, I
Like
didn't.
one of the linemen gave him a little
He gave him a little
shove forward.
a little
and,
rocket shove
yeah,
there, yeah. But looks like there's going to be a penalty, and it's 5-yard variety, the garden variety, so to speak.
Been aiding the runner there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the call was, but that's going to make it 1st and 15 now.
What was it?
It was before the play.
Oh,
So it must have been a
It's
motion. or
illegal
something,
procedure, yeah.
yeah. So, okay, so no play there, and so that's going to make it 1st and 15 now.
and a wasted run by Denzel.
Yeah, that's right. Nice run.
Yeah, it was a nice run by Denzel.
So the Fire break the huddle now. They come out 2-by-2 look here, shotgun formation, back offset to the quarterback's left. So again, Wilson gets the snap, quick handoff.
And they try Matlock.
Yeah, Matlock tries to hit it up the middle, but again, there's just way too much penetration again
Yeah,
by the
just
Hornets
a-
D-line. And,
Just a short gain for Matlock.
yeah, I'm
And-
not even sure he didn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
Maybe not even the line of scrimmage because it looks like they're not
that's
moving the box.
maybe a little bit. We'll get the micrometer out, but I think
That's right.
the slide rule says it was a slight loss on that one, Chuck.
Yeah, so 2nd and 15 now for the Fire. And let's see if the Hornets can stiffen up here and get the ball back.
Yeah. So, 2-by-2 set.
Yeah, this time back offset to the quarterback's right.
Columbus playing a one high safety. I'm sorry, Dayton playing a one high safety, and
like we've got another stoppage
Robert Red is about as close as he can be on that receiver for for Columbus.
That's right.
So a little press on the corner there.
There's the snap. Wilson, little play action fake, and intended for number 3, but again, it falls incomplete.
And
And we've seen Jackson have a couple squirt off his hands there, and that's another one. But we've got another flag on the play here.
yeah, Cameron, he had a rough time today. I mean, he had one great play. You got to
Looks
give him
like
that one.
Ineligible lineman downfield.
That would be, I think, is that 10 and a loss it down? If that is the case.
Either way, it's going to hurt. Fire backed up.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, no.
so personal foul,
I missed
roughing
that.
the passer.
Okay, so that's going to be an automatic first down then for the Fire.
Yep.
And the official's going to come over and talk to Coach Tony Martin about it. He wants an explanation.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, TJ? I didn't see anything either, but well, for the home team, that is a great call.
No, for the home team, that's a terrible call.
Or I mean, for the home team, that's a terrible call, and for the visitors,
The visitors needed that 2nd and 15. That's
they sure did.
A big play for the Fire.
And that's going to be a first down. Yeah. Wow.
All right, so 1st and 10 now from the 43-yard line.
Wow, just a bad break.
Yep. So again, 2-by-2 look for the Fire. Back offset to Wilson's right.
And Dayton's crowding the line. Single high safety.
There's a snap and a give to number 33, but again, the Dayton D-line just swallows him up. And
it's Denzel Matlock with the carry on that.
Looks like that was 24 Tramel Hayes for the Hornets on the stop. And again, he just ate his lunch on that one. Loss of 2 or 3 yards on the play, so that's going to bring up 2nd, and we'll call it 12 now from the 41-yard line of the Fire.
That was just a horrible penalty there because, I mean.
Yeah, Dayton really had them where they wanted them.
They did. And their defense is playing pretty well right now.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. So, again, just outside of 8 minutes left here in the third quarter. Again, 2-by-2 look now. Again, back offset to Wilson's left. Dayton showing a press look, single high safety.
Oh,
and we've got another flag here. So,
and I think that's going to be could be on Dayton here.
Well, let's wait and see. No, they're going to call legal procedure or movement on Columbus. So that's going to back them back up now, and it's going to make it 2nd and 17 now.
So a little bit of a make-up call there.
Yeah, you want to call it that. That's exactly what it is.
But gives the Hornets definitely a better situation as they're looking at what looks like almost 18 yards for first down now. So 2nd and 18.
Okay, so again, 2-by-2 look back to Wilson's left.
Single high safety. Red is up in the press.
Snap. And we've got another stoppage.
And we've just
another flag.
We've just hit a lull here, Chuck.
Yeah, we sure have. So procedure again on the Fire. So that's
they're making up that yardage.
Yeah, 2nd and 22 now for the Fire. And Coach, I don't know about you, but I didn't have a lot of plays in my playbook for 2nd and 22.
No. That's right. Should not be in that situation.
It's to be avoided for sure. So, and the Fire are going to try to dial up a big play here now. They've got a couple downs to get it, but again, 22 yards for the first. So.
Wondered if they were going to slide in Dylan Moore in the backfield there, Chuck.
It looks like Moore's in the slot at the top of the field.
Yeah.
Got a 2-by-2 look now. Again, back offset to Wilson's left.
And
Dayton showing a little bit of loose
Dayton was dropping. It looked like they're going to drop more into
complete to number 18 in the slot right up the seam. And
C.J. Talley with a nice
Talley with a nice little grab there. Yeah. Going to pick up about 9. That's going to make it 3rd and 11.
So they got about half. Well, not quite half, but, I mean, better than 22.
Yeah, that's right. So, again, moves the ball up to their own 42-yard line.
Yeah. And, they that time Dayton disguised the coverage a little bit. They gave a pseudo cover 2, right. And then the safety rolled up on it.
Okay, so 2-by-2 again,
similar look, strong
for
safety.
Dayton. Again, back to the left. There's
and
a snap, drops back, fires down the seam again. And looked like about the same play, intended for 18 again, but
Robert Red was there to get his hand in there.
Yeah, I'll tell you, and that very easily could have been tipped and picked off. So
and Robert's contending that there was some offensive interference on that.
That's right. Not called very often, but he sure wanted it there, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was lobbying for it. But
all right, so that's going to bring up a punting situation now. 4th and 11 from their own 41-yard line.
Yes, indeed.
The Fire punter enters the field, and that looks like it's going to be number 21.
And we got 6:48 to go here in the third period, 21-7 in favor of the Columbus Fire.
All right, looks like that. I don't believe that's Mike Cross, is it? 21?
21. No, Mike. We've seen Mike in here before.
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, 21's the number he's got on. So there's a nice kick there. Marshall fields it on the 27-yard line.
And, of course, this is the thing with Jalen Marshall. Oh,
Marshall
they're
reverses
setting
field.
they were setting up some peelbacks. And Marshall, he's
Trying
got
to get the edge.
And nice job by number 20.
Yeah, finally run out of bounds by number 20. That is Andre Strider. Finally forces him out of bounds, but not before he gets the ball up almost to midfield.
A little excitement when Jalen gets the ball in his hands.
Yeah, that's right. You never know. And that's where the Hornets will take over now. And it's going to be 1st and 10. It looks like they marked the ball right at midfield. So now they're...
But nice field position for the
Oh,
Hornets.
without a doubt, yep. So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line.
And that was the longest non-productive offensive drive I've seen in a while, Chuck.
Yeah, that's right.
They just ate up a lot of time with the penalties and going back and forth there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, but really that's to the Fire's advantage. Eat the clock.
Well, absolutely. They're in no hurry for anything right now. They just want the clock to run and get out of here with the W.
Right. Okay, so it looks like Mike Steele's entering the game now. First time we've seen Steele this afternoon. Yeah. But, again, Steele's this year shown that he's a nice compliment to Murray, kind of more of a grinded-out type back, where Murray is, again, more of a slasher.
Somewhere here we got...
so, again, under center now, we've got... looks like we got a tight end to the top of the field.
Got cover 3 here by Columbus.
Give to Steele up the middle. Steele... Yeah, nice little run. Gain of keeps his legs driving. He's
8 or 9 yards.
About 9 yards.
Yeah.
So Steele crosses midfield. That's going to make it 2nd and 1 now from the 47-yard line.
Yes, indeed. And let's see here. Here you go, Chuck. Here's Mike Steele's numbers on the year there.
Yeah, so Steele's had 17 attempts for 115, averaging almost 7 a carry. So
Mike Steele
is definitely a power back.
Mike is a presence out there. There's no doubt about it.
So looks like they bring him out of the game. I think Murray went back in.
And Columbus gave him a pretty vanilla look that time. They would just cover 3 and and the thing I've noticed about Columbus is.
It's the same formation.
They will show blitz, but they like to play with their front 4. They're not necessarily interested in bringing their linebackers.
Right, so reverse to Marshall out of the slot, or out of the H-back. That's going to be good for a 1st down and a few more.
Yeah.
He takes it all the way down to the 39-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 Hornets from the 39-yard line after a nice Jalen Marshall end around.
And the fans approve, Chuck.
They do.
I think
that's probably the most audible cheering we've heard today out of the Dayton crowd.
I think I think a lot of this crowd is here to see Jalen Marshall and see what he does.
I think you're probably right.
As the former Ohio State product gives them a little excitement on a punt return and a nice little jet sweep run there, and we shall see where this goes.
Okay, so now back to the I formation, and we're going to have twins to the bottom of the field, tight end. Uncovered up to the top of the field. Again, I backfield. Sawyer under center. Sawyer reverses out. Little give to Murray on the isolation play. But again, Murray not able to get back to the line of scrimmage is going to make it 2nd and 11 now. So a little loss there. And one of the few negative rushing plays we've seen out of Dayton today.
Yeah. Tristan Murray has been a force. And, of course, Mike Steele gets in for a carry. And Steele rips off 9 yards. They have a nice little tandem of backs there, Mike.
Yeah, they really do.
Chuck?
It's all right, John. Bill? So, again, 2nd and 11.
Ty?
From the 39-yard line of the Fire. Okay, back to a shotgun look. This time 2 backs in the backfield, flanking each side of Sawyer. 2 receivers to the bottom of the field.
Okay, and here we go. They show blitz. Columbus has got, and then number 45, Jamie Arnold drops.
Sawyer looking to his left, flips it forward, kind of an underhand shovel type pass. That's going to be an incomplete pass.
It should be incomplete.
But,
it was ruled.
It was
ruled
forward,
yeah.
but you've got one official
he was
fumble, but he's going to be overruled. That's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, and I think from the very beginning he was flailing his arms up saying incomplete. So that's not going anywhere with that argument. So the shovel pass goes incomplete there, and
so again, exciting play, but again is all for naught. So it falls as an incomplete pass, going to bring up 3rd and 11.
But this is Dayton now. Again, Chuck, we've talked about this with the the lack of a kicking game could really help Dayton here if they get into a punt situation because it was a shovel pit. So we've got Dayton with 3rd and 11, and they're just they're going through the motions here, Chuck.
Yep. So again, 3rd and 11, and again, it looks like I
don't know if they're having a problem with the mark on the ball or what is going on here.
I don't know.
There's
either,
some indecision there by the Zebras.
All right, so now we get the ball marked ready for play, and we've got.
Okay, so it is
3rd and 11.
Three
Marshall
minutes.
and the. Go ahead, Bill.
Now,
Sorry.
3 minutes ago, 21-7 in favor of Columbus Fire. And go ahead, Chuck.
All right, just to say, we got 3rd and 11 again. Single back formation. Marshall and an H back to the left, or a tight slot, tight to the line, tight into the right side.
Now, this is where you could see a fake to Jalen Marshall, too.
Off that end around we saw earlier, and it's exactly what it is, a bootleg off that, but we had a flag
and he
on
gets the
play,
ball
but
down to Robert
fires
Red.
it down the field. Almost intercepted.
And Robert Red almost comes up with a great play, but broken up.
Yeah, it was. Did I see a flag on the play? I thought I did.
That was
and
a
let's
whole
see.
host of
And I believe
Fire
it's
players.
going to be against the Fire, I believe, was the original indication.
Might be rough in the passer, but.
No, the flag was thrown before he threw the
Oh,
ball.
was it?
Yep.
Okay. We've got
So unless that referee's a psychic, that couldn't be rough in the passer.
Rashad Barksdale was rolled over on that, and as well as coverage supplied by Dylan Moore, the two-way threat here for the Fire.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see. I didn't get the indication, but it looks like it's a 5-yard penalty.
And then the box is moving up there. So
Yeah, they got him set now. So
okay, they
it's
got
going to
him.
make it 3rd and we'll call it a long 6 now for the Hornets, again from about the 34-yard line of the Fire.
Yep. Okay.
And now we've got another stoppage. We've got a timeout, Dayton.
And this game has slowed down to a crawl here, Chuck.
Yes, it has, even with the running clock.
Yeah.
But, all that said, though, we are down to just over 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
So
I guess I'm going to take back the earlier comments about the lack of penalties, which is
yeah, that's right. They're making up for it in this half.
they sure are.
Well, we've got a timeout here. Let's remind our listeners that they are listening to us on 106.9 LPFM WZAA out of Jeffersonville.
Are we feeling legal, Chuck?
We are. That is the legal ID we need to provide. And again, also, don't forget, many of our fans are probably catching us on Campus Nation.
Yep.
Your home for Ohio high school and college and semi-professional football, as well as, many other events, lacrosse, and volleyball,
lacrosse,
and
softball,
Yeah.
volley. And this year we'll be doing Wilmington High School volleyball, too.
there you go.
And so we're always adding to the menu. We
That's
did
right.
added lacrosse this past spring. So
Check out the website. You never know what you're going to find on there.
that's right. And, the college football game of the week, we've got a nice solid lineup featuring Hocking College, Urbana, Wilmington,
Central
State, and Malone University up in Canton. So
All right, so 2-by-1 look now with looks like we've got back offset to the right of Sawyer.
and we've got a little bit of a cover 4 roll here.
We'll snap back to Sawyer. Sawyer
And Sawyer
fires it over the middle, complete.
Oh!
And he drops it.
And now that was a football
That was
move.
a fumble, without a
Yes.
doubt. And
And that is that's Dylan
that's
Moore.
number 10, Dylan Moore.
And Dylan Moore cuts back across the field. He's to the 20,
Yeah, he could
15,
take this to the house.
10, 5.
Touchdown.
Touchdown for Dylan Moore. And that is
all right.
that would appear to be a 83 yard,
plus anyway.
yeah,
Yeah, that
83
was
yard
a-
return.
A long return by Dylan Moore. And again,
What a backbreaker, Chuck.
yeah,
I mean,
I'll tell you, that really was. The Hornets, had everything going their way. They had a nice completion. They had the first down. They were in the red zone, and just another strip. And
I'm not sure,
nice
but I think
job
that
there.
was number 22.
It was 22. Yeah.
The mystery player. And
That's right. Probably prefers to be nameless at this point. But,
Yes. I'm sure Chuck Martin or Tony Martin is not going to be happy with that.
yeah, I'm sure he knows his name right now. That's for sure.
Yes, he does.
So again,
He
looks
will.
like we've got a little bit of discussion going on here, but. So we're going to have. It looks like we've got
it's
penalties,
coming
so
back.
it's
I
coming
think.
back. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we've got a roughing the passer
So
call,
they
and
and they've already moved the box. So
yeah,
this will be
take
interesting.
a second to reset this. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
the good news is I don't believe the scoreboard has been reset, so they can use that as a
That's
an
true.
indication. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think we had. Let's see if we can get the call here. But I think we had a roughing the passer on the defense, and then a chop block.
Right.
Um,
On the offense. So it's just we're gonna replay this whole thing.
So hey, such an exciting play. Let's do it again.
Let's do it again. We want to see if we can get as much excitement
That's
on this
right.
again.
That's right. So
The repeat.
as far as we know, it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 6 from about the 34-yard line.
Yep.
Again, 1:55 to go here in the third quarter. Dayton trailing 21-7.
And we're gonna have a 3rd and 6 redo here. And okay, they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. If it says the ball's on the 34, I think they've got this.
Well, now we've got it. Now it's 3rd and 8.
They've got it messed up here. It's the other side of the 35-yard line there.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're going to fix it. So
I just think
it's
somebody.
now 3rd and. It wasn't 3rd and 8 before, was it?
It's third and it was 3rd and 6, right?
3rd and 6 with the
3rd
scoreboard
and 6
says,
there.
yeah, but,
So
well, now they're moving the box
there
up.
we
Okay.
go.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right.
And so it's been
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
been a long day for everybody, Chuck. I mean,
Well, TJ's putting it in my ear. It's on the wrong side. Now I see what he meant, and he's exactly right. They
Yeah.
had the box on the wrong side. So.
that's right.
3rd and 6 now. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the field, 1 to the top. Back offset to the right of the quarterback.
Cover 4 look by the fire.
And Sawyer gets the snap, steps up in the pocket, fires downfield, and tipped away by number 12. Looks like it was
12
intended
is-
for either Nick Black or Derek Kane. I'm not sure which one that was.
And number 12, Tyron Fuch, who was the one who
Yeah, started us off today.
with the interception for a touchdown.
Yep. So big play by Tyron there, and that's going to bring up now 4th and 6.
Yep.
And the Hornets, like we talked about, really need to make something happen here.
Although if they do punt, like we talked about, this is the place for
That's right.
a pooch kicker, so to speak. Not a guy that's going to drive the ball through the end zone. But they're not. They're going for it, Chuck.
Yep. And of course, given Dayton's luck, this would be the time that he would drill one through the back of the end zone anyway. So
He probably
3-by-1 look now. Marshall in the slot at the bottom of the field.
got a little cover 2. Press
Fire showing some pressure here on 4th down.
press corner.
There's the snap.
And
Sawyer rolls to his
Sawyer-
left, fires, and it's
oh,
going to be intercepted.
no! And I think it's
Guess who?
Dylan Moore again.
Yes,
and
it is,
Dylan
and-
Moore is not a guy that you want to get the ball to in open
No,
field.
he's not. And I'll tell you, finally dragged down at midfield by number 22.
Wow.
But I'll tell you, not before he brings the ball back. Like I said, all the way to the middle of the field for the Fire. And
The Hornets are just fortunate that wasn't 6 points again on
yeah,
that
that's
one.
right. That very easily could have been.
That was the wrong person to have the ball at that
That's
time.
right.
Okay, so the Hornets are going to return to defense here.
So here's a coaching question for you, Bill.
Throw it.
You tell that guy 4th down, knock it down. What do you tell that guy on 4th down? Picks it off and then returns it all the way to the 50. Pat him on the back, tell him don't ever do it again, or
Well, I guess, you got to, when you look at some people, when they intercept the ball,
if you got talent like Dylan Moore, you tell him do whatever.
yeah,
you
that's
need to do.
that's the thing, because you want to get the ball in his hands more, and because he's a threat to go all the way. So it's hard to criticize
Right.
an explosive player.
No,
like
I
that.
agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I would do the same thing. So we're going to have a penalty here again. I'm sorry I missed the indication there,
Right.
but it's going to back the ball up, and Fire are going to keep possession, but it's going to be way back at the Yeah,
You know,
let's
it's
see.
kind of reminiscent of primetime Sanders for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Do you tell him to knock it down, or do you take a chance that he's going to take it back 90 yards for a touchdown?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So whatever the call was, going to bring it all the way back to the 15-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now, Fire from their own 15-yard line.
And 1:12 to go in the third period.
All right, Fire come out in a 4-wide look, 2 receivers to each side. Back is going to be offset to Wilson's right. And, Coach, look at the size of that running back.
That might be our Michael, number 21 there.
I think it's 36.
Oh, it's
But we don't have a 36.
no, and Michael Wilson.
Wilson
And
around
Wilson
the right
breaks it
edge.
to 30,
Oh,
40.
he's motoring.
He's over to 50, 40, 35, 30. Dragged down at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Wilson really showed his speed there. Couldn't quite break it all the way, but all the way down to the 20-yard line.
And
So,
for a big guy, he
yeah,
was
rumbling, bumbling.
and stumbling.
So
So
not much stumbling there. That was a nice
36.
athletic
Well,
play.
at the end of the play.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't have that number there.
Yeah. I want to say Jerome Bettis, but
Yeah, I would say
certainly in that frame.
yes. Or Craig Hayward,
Yeah, the old Ironhead.
the old Ironhead.
Yeah. Christian Okoye?
I was going to say the Nigerian Nightmare. Yep. Yeah, we could keep on throwing the big backs out there.
Yeah, I think we've about exhausted him, actually.
Yeah.
But 2 by 2 now, again, for the Fire.
Wow.
Again, back
This is
offset to Wilson's right.
This is a big, what we call big backfield.
Yes. Yes, this is the jumbo look.
Yes.
And gives the 36 right up the middle, and not any room there. The Hornets, again, showing a very stout D-line, and we've got a flag now, again, in the middle of the field. So let's wait and see what this is. So, again, after a pretty clean first half, the flags have been flying here as of late.
Yes. There's been a lot of flagulence here.
Flagulence. Yes. Be careful how you pronounce that.
Yes, exactly. See, this is, when we look at number 21, Mike Cross for the Fire. Now,
That could be Mike Cross.
because it says 6'6", 315, and 36 might fill the bill on that one. So,
He's a large dude, whatever his name is.
yeah.
All right, so he's going to be going off the field now. We're going to have, well, the running clock, it looks like this is going to be the end of the third quarter. Let's see if they can get a playoff. I don't think they will.
And they've got Renault Thomas back in the backfield.
All right, and yeah, they're not going to get a playoff. So the end of 3, your score, Columbus Fire 21, the Dayton Hornets 7.
And you are listening to PAFL Action on Campus Nation and WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville.
That's right. And again, you're home for, like we mentioned earlier, a wide array of sports from both the college and high school, as well as the amateur football level here. So, again, I hope you check out our website.
And if you have programming ideas, feel free to reach out to us at Campus Nation or WZAA's websites and give us your feedback. We're always looking for opportunities to do different things. It's the niche sports, Chuck, have been the ones that we've got great viewership on. Track meets, wrestling meets.
Yeah, I forgot wrestling. I'll say we've done quite a bit of wrestling and been very popular.
Yes, and we get a lot of hits on that type of stuff. So, if you
Get some archery involved.
we get some archery, yeah.
Wow.
Especially if we had moving targets, that would be.
I think that's called hunting. I don't think that's archery.
Yeah, but if it's
Or manslaughter.
Well,
I
I was going to say, is it still hunting if you're shooting at human beings on that?
don't know.
I don't know.
All a matter of perspective, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah. So,
All right, so again, fourth quarter, just getting ready to get underway here. It's 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line.
and so
Hornets are
Columbus is getting
trying to
ready.
keep them out here. Columbus knocking on the door.
And Michael Wilson has just done a nice job orchestrating the offense here, and
Yeah, he has, and I'll tell you, he's made plays with his feet when they really needed him.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
Was able to pick up a couple first downs in the first half and got a big play right there where they were pinned deep after a penalty. And
he kind of reminds me of Big Ben. He doesn't go down real easy, so if you get a hand on him, you're not going to knock him off his feet. And
I'll throw one at you, Bill. I was thinking a young Dante Culpepper.
I would go there. I think that's a good
Dante
comparison.
before the knee injury. So
Exactly.
now we got to give.
Oh!
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Is that number 8?
Wow, that was. I'd say Joshua Davis hammered him.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're going to get a replay on that one, TJ?
And I'll tell you, I didn't get the running back's number, but
Holy mackerel. That was a great shot, too.
yeah, did you get a good replay?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The fans are going to love this one.
All right, boy,
Wow.
what a hit.
Is that, number 8, right, for Dayton?
All right, so it's second and goal after a 1-yard gain there.
Boy, that
Second and goal from the
they
9.
get pumped up real fast.
Yeah, that's for sure. So Twins look to the bottom of the field, single receiver to the top, back offset to Wilson's right,
A little man-free action here. And
play action this time.
wow,
No.
and that's going to be a freebie, it looks like.
And Wilson has forever to throw.
Oh.
Finds him in the corner of the end zone. That's number 23, Rodney Cube, for a touchdown. But I believe
Wow.
we did have a flag, but again, the play continued, so it looks like it's going to be on the defense.
And, this is something I've, you wonder, Chuck, is with these guys all having full-time jobs and, the conditioning always has to be
so touchdown.
has to be a factor when you only have a limited amount of time to work your offense and your defense. And, I wonder if the league shouldn't consider going to 12-minute quarters, especially if you're going to play in the summer like this. It might be you might make the game better. The fatigue factor would be less, I think, in that.
Yeah, either that or I think, tonight with the running clock has been
It's worked well.
has worked well too. So I think, you're right. Either one of those things, though, would help combat some of those issues that these guys are dealing with. So we're going to have another PAT here.
Okay.
Jordan Spurlock on the field.
And we've got 27-7 in favor of the Columbus Fire, the defending national champions, looking every bit the part, Chuck.
That's for sure.
So Columbus gets ready for the kick. And so far the mechanics
snap.
and the mechanics have been pretty good for the most part.
Yep.
Compared
So
to what
it's
we've
good.
seen in some games, Chuck, it's been a relatively smooth operation.
Yeah, that's right. And again, don't want to keep harping on it, but that goes back to, just timing like we talked about. It takes time to practice those things and get them timed up. And when you've got a limited amount of time, that's going to be something that's going to get
you just can't get
relegated to,
Yeah.
do this when we can. So.
And I don't know, we not knowing the league what the rules are. Did they practice twice a week for 2 hours? Are there limitations? I mean, a lot of that is probably controlled by the individual teams and the availability of their players.
Exactly. Yep.
So.
All right, so 13:59 left in tonight's game. The Fire jump out now to a 28-7 lead, with the Hornets getting ready to receive the kickoff.
Yep. So, let's see. Do we have Jalen back? No, Jalen's not back there. So there's Jalen on the sideline, and I would say that we're going to see probably more of a steady diet of them trying to get the ball to Jalen here in the second half, or I mean in this quarter.
Right.
Which is in the second half.
Yes, it is. That's right. But right on both accounts.
Yes, unless we go to the third half.
Let's hope not. So Spurlock kicks off. Ball kicks and bounces.
Okay.
Picked up there by number 20.
26.
26.
Yeah. Oh,
And
he's
I'll
at the
tell you,
50.
cuts it back.
40. 30. 20. 15.
Willie James takes it all the way down to his own 12-yard line. Nice return by Willie James.
Yeah. And so no flags, Chuck. Now this would be a huge shot in the arm for Dayton because Columbus scores, and if they can answer and get it back to that 2-touchdown margin, you got a good feeling at least that you still got an opportunity.
That's right. And there's still a lot of football left to go here.
Yep. The big thing here for Dayton is to get the balance now in the offense. You're going to have to pick things. You're not going to be able to depend on Tristan Murray or Mike Steele as much when you're down 3 touchdowns.
Well, that's exactly right. They've just got to make some plays quickly and get some points on the board. So, yeah, unfortunately, the running game, which has been has been promising for them. They're going to have to get away from a little bit here.
Yeah, that's been kind of a staple for them, and it's something that they're going to have to take a look at here. But we've got, and you've got to feel that with Dayton having, Jalen Marshall out there, who's the playmaker, you're going to find ways to try to get him the ball.
Right, so 3-by-1 look now for Dayton.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Steal offset
Well,
to
they've got
Sawyer's right.
They've got
Marshall's in the slot there.
Get double coverage here on Marshall. They've got a guy that's going to be underneath, and they got a guy over the top.
Yeah, it could be bracketing him. So they go away.
Oh, Robert Redd.
Yeah, kind of a miscommunication there. It looked like Redd was going to the outside, and he threw it inside.
Yeah. But Redd was open. There's no doubt
yes,
about that.
That could have been 6.
Yeah.
So they'll try to realign things and get something positive going here on second down.
And
second and 10 now from from the 14 of the Fire, excuse me.
And sometimes that's a read route, Chuck. I mean, that's just between the quarterback and the receiver.
Yeah, that's right.
And they just weren't on the same page.
Not there.
Yep.
Okay, so same formation, 3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top. This time Steele to the left.
I
Sawyer.
think the post now they're sliding the safety over now. But I was going to say the post.
And little give up the middle, and Steele, let's say no gain there and be generous, I think.
Yeah. And, I what I'm seeing is that Jalen Marshall can get behind the outside linebacker there. The safety may be a little bit too far over to be able to pick him up on a quick
quick
post
or something.
Yep.
All right, so 2-by-2 look now. Steele to Sawyer's right. Marshall, the bottom to the slot in the bottom of the field.
And this may be our classic smash route situation here to the corner. We'll see. Okay. And I don't know what something's not going.
Shifting around a little bit. They finally get set. Now 5 goes in motion inside of Marshall.
And there we go to the corner. There it is,
There's
smash
the
route.
Smash route again, yep. Little 2-man combo.
And Marshall was open on that.
Yeah, he really was.
I mean, you got to get
the top. Yeah.
I mean,
give your playmaker a chance to make a play there.
Yeah, I think you put the ball to the corner and say, go up and get it. I mean,
be an athlete.
Yeah.
So that brings up now a 4th down, 4th and 10.
Yeah.
From from the 14 of the Fire, excuse me. And it looks like
Is it going to be the field goal team?
Looks like the field goal team's coming on the field.
So, I guess you want to get some points.
Yeah, that's right. You got to get something on the board here. So, Cullen Bradley comes on the field.
And looks like Cullen will be attempting about a 31-yard attempt. So Bradley gets up, he lines it up, holder's in place.
Yep, Angel Soto, your holder.
And there's a snap, the hold, and that was nice. Good operation on that.
Yeah,
it's good.
All right, so that makes it now 28-10 with 12:03 to go in the 4th quarter.
And, Chuck, if Dayton does not get anything on that drive, that could have been the punch in the gut, so to speak, that would just take the wind out of your sails.
Yeah, that's right. Getting a field goal there lets them, hang around a little bit here and gives them an opportunity to stay in the ball game.
Of course, I'm sure Columbus with 12:03 is thinking, if we can take this ball down and punch it in again with our defense playing the way it is, that we're in pretty good shape tonight.
Yep, I'd agree with you.
But Dayton will have something to say about it, so we'll see how they stand up to the challenge here. But and of course, back deep is number 10, Dylan Moore, and number 23, Rodney Coop.
I'm kind of surprised how shallow they're playing, given the fact that Bradley put one in the end zone last time.
Yeah, and I guess they're saying if it goes in the end zone, we're just not gonna. Yeah. We're not worried about returning it. Although the one time Dylan Moore looked like he thought about bringing it out.
He did think about it. Yeah.
He's one of those great open field runners, and that's going to go right to the wrong person.
Yeah. And fields it at the 10.
Moore takes it to the center. He's looking for the breakout, but no, not that well covered. the Hornets were up to the task on that one.
Yes, they were. So they were able to shut him down there at about the 24-yard line. That's where the Fire will take over. It's going to be 1st and 10. Fire from their own 24-yard line.
Yep. And, really there's not been a whole lot of a running threat here from the Fire tonight other than
Well, Wilson's shown some running.
Wilson and Dylan Moore.
Right.
But what the other running backs have
been kind of stymied.
Yeah, they've not gained a lot. Although we did have the one play that was called back by Matlock, who Denzel Matlock had a nice run, which was negated by it.
Negated, though. Yeah.
But that was about the only other run play outside of the Wilson and Moore.
Right.
And then who do we have in the backfield but Dylan Moore?
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
Okay, you've got a 2-back set now. And the give to Moore.
And the give is to Moore, but
yeah, but again, too much penetration. Looks like Big Lester Robinson able to trip him up in the backfield.
And number 52.
That's going to be a loss of about 3 yards.
We have 52 for the Hornets. Here we go.
So that's Munnerlin, Josh Munnerlin, the linebacker, along with Lester Robinson, the defensive lineman, there on the tackle.
Munnerlin's coming out. And
I'll tell you, that could be a big loss to this Hornets defense.
Yeah. And the defensive line has played well tonight. I mean, they've had penetration. They've shut down the running game for the most part. So
yeah, that's right.
They've done their part. Okay, and Dayton's bringing the house.
Sweet now to the top of the field to number 23, but again, Dayton plays it well, and another loss of yardage there.
Yeah, and that it would be Rodney Coop.
Okay, so a loss of about 2 more, so that's going to make it 3rd and we'll call it a long 13 now.
Yeah, Coop, he had pursuit from behind and nowhere to go in front.
That's right.
So.
Yep, they had him boxed in.
Yep. 10:39 to go here in the 4th quarter, 28-10 in favor of the Columbus Fire. You're listening to PAFL football on Campus Nation and WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville.
The za. All right, so 3-by-1 look, 3 receivers to the bottom of the field, 1 to the top. Again, back offset to Wilson's right. His left.
And they're in a little pressure. Ooh.
Wilson fires downfield.
Wow.
That's going to be pass interference.
Yeah.
But, I don't think it was intentional, but
no.
Just some feet getting caught up. But you've got to call that there on number 23, Daquan Edwards,
and Cameron Jackson. I mean, he's had some drops, but one thing about Cameron Jackson is he has shown the ability to get deep and get open, and they're going to keep on pumping the ball to him as long as he can keep on getting out there.
Yeah, that's right. And I think he had a step on Edwards, but
I think so.
Their feet just got tangled up as he started to pass him, and that's going to be enough for the call.
Yeah, Jackson, he's been impressive as far as running routes and getting open. It's just that he's not finishing on some of the balls that's been thrown his way.
Okay, so... Oh, and they're going to wave it off.
Interesting.
That is, yeah. I'll tell you, like I said, I don't think it was intentional, but I think it was pass interference.
Yeah.
But,
and
they are going to wave it off.
Yeah. So is it going to change this to 4th down? It sure is.
So it's going to bring up a punting situation, an obvious punting situation for the Fire.
And
4th and 12 from their own 23.
And you know who?
Guess who? That's right. Jalen Marshall back deep for the Hornets.
So we will see. Jalen's had a few nice plays, but for the most part, he's been pretty quiet tonight. So.
Yeah, he has. And,
but it's like that soda you shake up, Chuck, and you rip the top off anytime. That's going to just take off and go all over the place.
Yeah,
and that's
right. There's a lot of explosiveness built up there.
Yes. Marshall has that ability. Wonder where the cold air was leaking to there.
It's not leaking here, I can tell you.
No,
that.
it's not. It's it's warmed up a little bit.
Okay, so inside of 10 minutes now to play, and the Fire set to punt here. There's the snap.
They bring some pressure.
There's
The
the
Hornets
punt,
brought some
Marshall
pressure.
may have a chance of angled
And-
out of bounds.
Oh.
Marshall fields it.
And that's a typical Ohio State return right there.
Up
And
the
Jalen
sideline.
Marshall up the sideline.
Yeah, Marshall just ran as far as he could with it. Finally steps out of bounds. After he crosses midfield, it's going to be 1st and 10 Hornets from the Fire 41-yard line.
And Chuck, how many times in 2014 have we seen that play where Jalen Marshall gets his fingertips under the ball at the last second and brings it back for a significant gain on a punt?
More than once, I would say.
More than once. Exciting and dangerous at the same time.
That's right.
But
Kind of like Bill's love life.
I have to talk to my wife about that one. I don't know about the exciting or dangerous there. But I'll let her determine that.
Yeah.
We
Now, of course, I take the second, Bill, to congratulate you on your second honeymoon and your.
Thank you.
Yeah.
30th, on July 20th will be our 30th anniversary. We took a cruise a little bit early because we had an opportunity to go to the port of calls that we wanted to go to, so we took advantage of it in June. But 30 years, Chuck, somebody's put up with me.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, that's a positive. So
She should get some kind of award and
That's
a
right.
trophy.
At least
or-
a cruise out of that.
Yeah. Yep.
So we're going to have 1st and 10, but there's some question about the spot, it looks like. The markers have not moved yet, so.
And we've just kind of come to a crawling slowdown here.
Maybe they determined this game was going too fast.
Maybe. It's a good thing we didn't have a regular clock, Chuck, because
Yeah,
this would
that's
have we'd be at about 10:30 right now.
So, Bill, I missed it, but we've got
We got all.
a big change in field position here. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now from the Fire 27-yard line.
I think that might be a little bit of. We still have a little spillover from that play with number 23 there. What they felt was pass interference on Rodney Coop, and I think there's been some.
Yeah, they can't be happy with the officiating.
No. So we've got a
So 3-by-1 look now. There's the snap.
little cover four.
Throws it up for Marshall in the
Oh!
corner. And he comes down with a touchdown, Hornets. Jalen Marshall.
And
With a
Jalen,
great individual effort there to go up and get the football.
and of course, as we said, that's why people were here tonight to see Jalen Marshall, and he didn't disappoint as he came down with the
That's
touchdown
right.
catch.
Home crowd loves it.
Yes.
So
And it
again,
makes it a
like
little
we
bit more
talked about,
interesting.
Yeah, that's right. The guy is both exciting and dangerous, and right there he showed it all in one play.
And the one thing you can say there is that with the ability to go over the top on that, if the defense can rise to the task here, I think another one of these and we got ourselves a ball game.
This is a ball game, no doubt about it. So see if the
Coach
Hornets
Tony
can-
Martin's got to be happy about the resilience of his team.
Yeah, that's for sure. So they get a 2-point play here, Bill. That field goal they just made makes this only a 10-point game.
Yep. So we will see here as.
It looks like they are going to go for 2.
Yep. And why not?
That's right. So got a 3-by-1 look. Murray to the quarterback's left.
Let's see what they're going to dial up on this one. Sawyer is going to have
Sawyer rolls to his left, throws it up in the back of the end zone for Red, but it falls harmlessly incomplete. So
Sawyer was forced to move to his left a little bit.
yeah, and I don't think he was ever really set. But
I don't think his feet could get in the position to have. And I don't think the receiver was particularly open on that throw either. So
no, Red would have had to make a play, and the ball was just too far over his head.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Again, our score 28-16 Fire with 9:31 to go here at Roger Glass Stadium.
Yeah. So the Hornet fans are getting a little bit rowdy now. They got excited by the Jalen Marshall touchdown, and they're feeling the vibe that the Hornets could be buzzing back into this game.
That's right. There is some buzz here at the Hive.
At the Hive, that's right. So
Cullen set the kickoff.
kickoff, and of course, back deep for the Fire is Dylan Moore and number 23, Rodney Coop. And, you know, the thing about the Fire is you have to be ready because of their speed, a little jet
That's
kick
right,
type
short
of action.
kick here, fielded by number 45.
And that is Jamie Arnold, the linebacker. And Jamie's going to make the most of this. And Jamie's got it up over to 45, almost out to the 50-yard.
That's right. But we do have a flag on the play there, Bill.
And that's
let's
usually
see what
the
the call is.
illegal block area. Jamie Arnold, the linebacker, who in his own rights has had a nice game tonight, added a little bit to that with his kick return, but it looks like it may be coming back. Yep.
Yep, it is going to be against
Blocking
the
the
Fire.
back, yep.
So.
And that just really complicates things here for the Fire because, you know, with 9:21 to go, Chuck, you can't be too conservative here because if you give the Hornets the ball in good field position again, there it's could be bad. So we'll see what happens here. But you're listening, of course, to the PAFL Game of the Week here on Campus Nation and WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville, Ohio.
The cradle of LPFMs.
That's right. The leader of LPFMs in Ohio.
At least in Fayette County.
At least in Fayette County.
All right, so 3-by-1 look. 3 receivers to the bottom of the field for the Fire. Back's going to be offset to Wilson's left.
Yep. And
There's a snap, and it looks like we've got an offside. So free
Oh,
play for the Fire,
yep,
and
yep.
it's going to fall harmlessly incomplete. But again,
And number 3,
penalties,
Cameron
so-
Jackson.
Yep, so it's going to be 1st and 5, I believe.
I wonder if Cameron's related to Deshaun Jackson.
Wouldn't have any idea.
Nope. Has that pass route running ability though.
So offsetting. So I've been baffled again. All right, so that's going to make it 2nd and 10.
And here we go.
Or they're going to make it 1st and 10. It really should be 1st. It should be a down replay.
Yeah, if it's offsetting. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I guess that. Never mind.
Okay. All right, so same formation, 3-by-1. 3 receivers to the bottom, back again to Wilson's left.
And the slot is uncovered here.
Yep, and it is 1st down.
And they're going to try to get the linebacker on him. I don't think that would work.
Give
Yeah.
to the back, number 33.
And that's Matlock.
But again, the Hornets D-line stymies his effort.
Yeah. And then now's the time to step up if you're going to do it because, you know, they're going to need to get this ball back and score quickly. Of course.
Yeah, that's right. Tick, tick, tick here for the Fire.
Right. And they need the trainer on the field.
Yeah, we've got is that a Hornet down or a Fire player down? I can't tell.
I think it's a Hornet.
I think you're right. Yep. And again, like we mentioned all night, now we're in the 4th quarter. Probably, you know, we hope it's just cramping, which would not be out of the question on a night like tonight.
Yeah. But these last 8.5 minutes could be very grueling with this heat, and as far as the number of cramps we might start to see.
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
And when God made football, he wanted it to be played in the fall for a reason.
That's right. So, looks like the injured Hornet was number 44, Cameron Carter, but Cameron walking off under his own power.
And you could tell it's a cramp.
Yeah,
He's really stiffened up there.
Yeah. Jogging off a little bit. So Cameron looks to be okay. Just
He's going to
needs to get some fluids and
get him some pickle juice.
yep, maybe a banana.
Pickle juice, banana. Another
not enough orange slices at halftime.
yeah,
Maybe?
another remedy I have heard is mustard.
There you go. So 3-by-1 look. I think it all comes down to salt. I think that's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
I would agree.
Little fire out
Oh!
on number 23, but he gets upended.
Nice play by number
That
42.
was number 42. That was Aaron Holman with a nice tackle there just to chop him down right where he caught it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, 23, Coop was lucky he
Yeah, Aaron came with bad
popped right
intentions,
back up there, yeah.
and he delivered them. So we will see what happens here as we're looking at 3rd down and 3 yards. So, and the running game has not been real effective other than Wilson and as we talked about more.
Yeah.
So
3-by-1 again, back to Wilson's left.
But this could be one of those times where Wilson scrambles, and they're going to have to spy him, I think, Chuck.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh,
So,
read option.
Yeah, Wilson keeps it, goes around the right end. He gets undercut
Oh,
this
and
time.
if that's marked
Loses
where his
his
helmet
lid.
hit, he did not get it, Chuck.
And I'll tell you, I think where the helmet hit is about where it should be spotted.
Right.
So
It was right on the 30-yard line is where his
yeah,
head
so
came
he's
down.
going to be short, so it's going to be 4th and
Yeah.
we'll call it 1,
Oh, yeah.
4th and 4 feet maybe.
Yeah, looks like it's less than a yard, but we'll see.
I don't know. I think it's about 40 inches, Bill, is my
Oh, you get the slide rule out again.
Okay, so
Yeah.
oh my goodness. And yeah, I don't know if we looks like there's some billowing black smoke in the distance there
Yeah.
off towards downtown Dayton. Let's hope
Every-
everything's okay.
That's right. So the ball or the clock, okay, I was going to say the clock had stopped, which I didn't understand that because it was supposed to be a running clock. There was, to my knowledge, there was no timeout. So why?
We're now at 3rd and 13 though, so
Right.
there was something happened. They remarked
Oh,
the
it must have
ball.
been a penalty. Okay.
Yep. So
okay.
3-by-1 look again. Again, back to Wilson's left.
And well, we'll get to this in a second. Just a 4-man rush.
Wilson drops back,
Wilson
rolls
gets
out, now
outside.
scrambles to his left, whips it down the field. Wide open, number 86. That's going to be good for a 1st down.
And that
a
is
lot more.
And that's number 86, Charles Pope, the wide receiver. And he got lost in coverage. He came
Yeah,
from the
he
back.
sure did. I think he came from the far side.
Yep,
and,
sure did.
Again, we've talked about before. These Fire receivers know how to adjust to Wilson's role, and he did exactly that. Just made his way across the field and
Yep,
kept
got into
working
the
down
open.
the field. And,
Yep.
Yep.
You got to find the open space and make yourself visible to the quarterback, and that's exactly what he did.
Yep.
And that's a huge play. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm kind of distracted. I don't know if we've caught it on camera or not, but there is a rather large plume of smoke coming from the downtown.
Oh, I
Dayton
could see
area.
I could see the flames.
Can you see flames?
Yeah, licking above the building too.
Yeah, that's scary. We can't. Again, we don't want to speculate where it is, but it is in the direction of downtown Dayton.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah. Whatever happened there. And of course, with all the heat today and that, I mean.
Yeah. So we've got timeout fire. So
Yeah.
see if we can't get Heather to get a shot of that smoke down there.
Okay. Oh, there's a. Heather.
Get a shot of that smoke. Yeah.
And there.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna see if we can't get Heather to get a view of that. And again, scary thing here down in downtown Dayton. Like we said, we don't want to speculate where that is, but if you're not familiar with where we are, that would be in the direction of, I would say, the Oregon District and that typical area. Again, don't want to say that's where it is or anything, but that would be the direction, the convention center or the that general area.
Well, it's not slowing down, so.
Yeah.
We'll assume that the fire department is there, but that might be more than a one-alarm fire there.
Yeah, it's a scary situation for sure.
So
so
he's kind of disconcerting for the fans here as
That's for
they're
sure.
watching the game and they see smoke billowing from above the buildings. But so we're going to return to action here with 6:15 to go in the fourth quarter. And
Yeah. So again, 28-16, and well, I guess the Fire kind of ironic now, but
yeah, I agree with you. I
Right.
agree. That's what I don't know why they took that. I agree.
yeah. So some talk in the booth talking about the fact that the Fire had a penalty there on 4th and 2, but the Hornets took it and kind of backfired on them.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1-by-2 look now, 2 backs in the one to each side of Wilson. Wilson takes the snap.
And a little read
Little
option.
read again. Wilson right
And
up
he's
the
up
middle.
to the 10, inside the 10.
Nice run there. Nice run by Wilson.
And he's been effective on the read option. I mean, when
He's been effective anytime he's run the football today.
Very true. I mean, he has been the most consistent running threat. I mean, outside of the times that Dylan Moore has been in, but the most consistent running threat on the field every play has to be Michael Wilson there.
For sure. So, again, it's going to bring up 1st and goal now from the 9-yard line, and the Fire knocking on the door here, trying to punch another one in and push their lead past 12 where it is right now.
Yep. And time is just kind of sliding away here with 2-back set there for the Fire. Is there?
Yep. So again,
they're just gonna.
This time he gives to the back and nothing there.
And
so that's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
Number 33, which is Denzel Matlock. Matlock picks up a few. No, actually loses a few. So that's going to make it 2nd and goal from the 11. Yeah, that smoke is billowing over the buildings here, over the top of the CJ buildings, and not knowing Dayton well, I will defer to Chuck on the potential area of that.
Yeah, like I said, it definitely is in the direction of the Oregon District or the Convention Center or the old Dayton Appliance Parts building.
Yeah.
Pretty scary. Okay, so back to the action here. 1-by-2
2nd 11.
look. Wilson
Oh,
drops back, rolls to his right. And again, Wilson
s-
tries to get the edge, and really
Pick
nice
up.
job by Dayton that time not to
Yeah.
let him get the edge.
Yeah.
But,
Wilson picks up 2, gets the ball to the 9-yard line, almost the original line of scrimmage, which is going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 9. With 4:14 to go in the fourth period, 28-16, the Columbus Fire over the Dayton Hornets, and you're listening to PAFL football right here on Campus Nation and WZAA 106.9 LPFM in Jeffersonville.
all right, so 3rd and goal now from we'll call it the 8-yard line. We're going to have a timeout now. Timeout by the Fire.
Yeah.
And again, with 4:14 to play here, the Fire looking to punch one in. 3rd and goal from the 8 when we return.
Any kind of score here puts the final touches on the game. Whether the Fire score a touchdown or kick a field goal here,
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, Bill.
that would be the end for most part, barring some unforeseen circumstances here. Okay. So things have slowed down here, and the sun is going down behind the stadium, so that's giving the players some relief, Chuck, from the torrid sun. And yeah. Yep. I mean, the color of that smoke almost is
Yeah,
like
it's very black. And
like a tire fire kind
Yeah.
of thing. And it makes you wonder if it's some kind of industry that's caught
yeah,
fire.
I guess the only, let's say, hopefully the bright lining is that it's a weekend, and
Right.
hopefully it's an empty building today, and given the time of day and everything else, we can hope so.
I guess the collateral damage is something you have to worry about in the immediate area would be the thing that
Right.
I'm sure they're looking at right now. So we have, yeah, well, I would assume maybe that's help from other areas
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah. So, again, if you're just joining us, we are here at Roger Glass Stadium at Chaminade Julienne High School. We've got the Chicago, I almost did it again, Bill.
Yeah,
The
almost.
Columbus Fire leading your Dayton Hornets 28-16.
Well, we got fires all over the place here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, unfortunately, too, there is an obviously rather large fire in the towards the downtown area of downtown Dayton. We don't want to speculate, but okay. So back to the action now. 2-by-1, 2 running backs, 1 to each side of Wilson.
3rd and 8.
Wilson.
And it's just a
Keeps
design
right up the
quarterback
middle.
keep. He's down to the 5 inside the 4.
And bangs it down again inside the 5.
And
Wilson again loses his helmet.
And his lid pops off, but
I'm sure he'll pop that back on. He looks like he's done no worse for the wear.
so it's decision time. Are you going to leave the Hornets with a 90-some yard field if you go for it and miss it, or do you kick the field goal and give yourself a 15-point lead, which is almost...
Well, that's exactly right, Bill. You know, I don't think I think either way you're in a good position here. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of hard to make the wrong decision because
I guess the thing about a field goal attempt is if that gets blocked and the potential
potential's
to
there,
to
right.
run it back becomes a problem, or
all right, so same formation now.
Or do you try to draw
2 by
Dayton
1,
off
2 to
and
the top, and yeah, let's see.
shorten
So
the field a little bit. Nope.
there's the snap. Wilson fires a slant to the inside, intended for number 7, excuse me, and
Wow, nice catch. That was
there we
George.
go. Touchdown.
And that is number 7. And that is Jordan Marshall. He got up high on that one, Chuck.
Yes, he did. So it was a nice little slant, and nice job grabbing and snatching the ball there. And,
Oh, that looks like it's number 3. As I think it is, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Was it 3 on the touchdown?
Yeah, it was. I thought you were right, but it's Cameron Jackson who got up high and brought it down. Our apologies there,
7 was
Cameron.
on the field there, but
Yeah,
I'll tell you, Cameron. I got to give him that. He's had a rough day today, so
Yeah, he made up for some of those.
he sure did.
Some of those drops on that one. So that pushes out 34-16 in favor of the defending national champs. Oh, bad snap.
Yep, and
Yeah, the object there is to keep that ball alive.
yeah, that's right. And so
The scrum has ended at the
it
20-yard
has.
line.
So PAT's no good. So again, with 3:15 left, your score now: Columbus Fire 34, Dayton Hornets 16, and again, just over 3 minutes to go here. And again, the Fire have not disappointed today. We knew they would come out and put on a display, and they certainly have.
And, you know, Jalen Marshall is in this league. He was cut by the Jets, and his ultimate goal is to get back into the show in the NFL, to get on a 90-man roster here come the end of July. And so he's out here just trying to keep himself in shape, and he's had some success here, Chuck. I didn't see the last game, but you did, and he has been a factor.
Yeah, he has. You know, there's no doubt that a talent like him is going to show his stuff, and
Yeah.
he certainly has. So
Yeah.
it's been a nice addition to these Hornets, but again, just not quite enough today to contend with this Fire.
But I think the confidence that the Hornets have gained since the last time I saw them, which was when they played Cincinnati the first time around, is if nothing else, they can walk away with just scores very similar to the Butler County game that was last week, the 31-17 game.
Right.
They can be on the same field with Columbus, so that they can take the shot in the mouth and stay in the game and don't roll over and get beat by 50.
No, that's exactly right. You know, they've hung around, no doubt, and you know, I think you really hit the nail on the head. You know, the first time we saw Dayton, they against Cincinnati, they really struggled, and in that second half, the wheels kind of fell off, but they've really hung tough, and we saw a totally different ball club when we saw them.
And a little
Fire
pooch.
with a little pooch, and yeah, so Dayton returns it, and he's actually going to lose some yards there. It looks like, and
He was going the wrong way there.
yeah, that's unfortunate, but
As the old high school coach used to tell you, east-west is getting you no yards.
that's right, and he actually lost some yards there.
Yeah.
So, It's going to be 1st and 10 now from
He's going
the
to keep the ball there,
38-yard
I
line.
think. No, I'm just kidding. So, and that was number 14. So let's see, give him some love there.
Yeah, Blake Grimm. And
Yeah.
Blake's not a guy we see handling much of the return duties. So,
Yeah. But he reacted to it well.
Yeah, he did. Hey.
Short pooch
Got under
kick,
it.
and yep.
Yep.
So Evan Sawyer has his work cut out with 3:06 to go. He's going to have to get a quick score here, Chuck. And
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it, Bill.
and then the onside kick afterwards.
That's right. The only chance they've got to get back in this game is to score and score quickly.
Right.
All right, so 3-by-1 look, 3 receivers to the bottom of the field. Running back to the left of the quarterback.
And Columbus in a deep cover 2 look. Now they roll into a
Sawyer
3.
gets the snap, drops back, steps up in the pocket now. Throws it to the sideline, intended for number 18, but it's going to be incomplete, out of bounds.
And that is Black.
Yeah, Nick made the catch,
Yeah.
but just couldn't get any feet down, so that's going to go down as an incomplete pass. But, that's the kind of plays that the Hornets need. They need to get down the field in a hurry.
And Columbus will play a soft zone now, and they'll attempt to put pressure on with a 4-man rush. And
Like we talked about, they've shown blitz all day, but mostly they've just been coming with their 4-down linemen. So
yeah, that's been the impressive thing for the Fire is they've been able to control the line of scrimmage with 4 guys and really not have to take their linebackers out of it.
right.
And
All right, so 3-by-1, this time 3 receivers to the top of the field. Back now to the right of Sawyer.
a little 4-2-5 with a press corner.
There's the snap. Sawyer looks to his left.
And
Sawyer under
Sawyer
pressure. He's
goes
going to go
down.
down.
Yeah.
Sacked by number 15 for the Fire, and that is
15 is Rico Middlebrooks.
Okay, so
And Rico's been a pretty active player for him tonight.
Rico flossing out there now.
And so Rico is
Showing his skills.
He's
in more than one
excited.
way.
He's excited.
There he is, yeah.
There he goes.
Check the floss.
Yeah.
There it is.
Maybe he's trying to audition for a shot on American Idol or something.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, America's Got Talent.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
More appropriate venue
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, I was going to say because I have no idea what's on TV anymore. If I ever get to it.
Yep. Well, who has time to watch TV? I'm too busy watching Campus Nation.
That's true. That's true.
All right, so we're going to have a timeout now, I believe, by Dayton.
And of course, Chuck, people can always listen to us on the Morning Zoo from 7 to 10 there on WZAA.
Yeah, did I see you on the Zoo Friday?
I was on Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
And we had the legendary Tom Fillinger on talking about paranormal activity.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Yeah, I've yet to crack the morning zoo. I guess I'm just not as wild of an animal to get in the zoo. But
Yeah.
maybe someday Rick will invite me on.
Yeah, well, there is no invitation necessary because at one point on Thursday we had 4 people in there that just kind of walked in the door, and so it's an open forum, so to
Just show
speak.
up in the studio. Huh?
Show up in the studio. You can have your flip flops and your robe on, and bring your cup of Joe with you. And
Well,
just,
it is visual radio, so I don't know if you'd want that. But,
my first appearance on the Morning Zoo, I have to admit, I wear my sunglasses, my bathrobe, and my slippers in there. And now I didn't take any ratings away from Howard Stern, but
well, let's just hope that's archived somewhere. I'm going to have to go home and look for that. So,
yeah. So.
All right, so the Hornets come out here. 2 minutes to go in the game now. Hornets come out in a 3-by-2 look. And check that, a 2-by-2 look. We've got a running back to Sawyer's right.
Yep. And I don't see Jalen.
Now we've got motion and false start
and
at
we
the same time.
yeah.
That's going to push it now to 3rd and 21 now.
And it's just a concentration thing. I mean, with the score where it's at and the heat.
Yep, just a breakdown, mental breakdown.
Just mentally coming to pieces a little bit, and they're just going to say, hey, same thing on 2 and get out there and go.
Okay,
Now,
so again,
for a
exact
minute
same
there, I
formation.
thought they were playing Canadian football because I thought they
Guy
had
was in motion.
a
Yeah.
3-by-2 with a back in the backfield. And
No 1-point plays here.
oh my, you know they're going to let that one go.
Yeah, I think we had a false start there too that
Yeah,
wasn't
we
called,
did.
but
Oh.
whips it into Marshall. Marshall catches it. I just come back to it about the 40-yard line. And
Yeah, nice job by Jalen Marshall on the
yeah,
comeback.
that really was nice individual effort there.
Picked up a huge amount of the yards they needed, and it really, now that they're going to go for it, I'm assuming on fourth down, it's really a makeable situation for them.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's exactly right. They had 2 plays really to get 20 yards, and they got 15 of it right there. So.
And the impressive thing on that comeback was the separation that Marshall got from the defender when he came back to the ball, because there was about 8 yards between him and the defender.
Well,
on
he showed his burst there. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, he definitely did. 1:16 to go here as the clock continues to tick away here in the fourth quarter. 34-16, the Columbus Fire, the defending national champions, are looking about under a minute away from going to 7-0. The Hornets will drop to 5-2, but this defeat will not hurt them in the big scheme of things, since they are in the in different tiers. So this will not count against them as a.
Looks like they're actually going to punt here, Coach, on 4th and 5.
Yeah, and they're going to give. They're taking their grand old time here, which, delay a game.
Yeah, they're actually going to delay it,
and they may never. Well, I don't know. You almost wonder. No. You almost wonder, Chuck, with this is something I don't understand when games are in this situation and there's a delay of game when a team's deliberately trying to run things down. You almost wonder why the officials even drop a flag.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It has no influence on the outcome of the game at that point.
No, it's not going to. But I mean,
the rule's the rule. I understand.
Yeah, what are you going to do? I don't know.
Well, you just don't look at it.
Yeah.
you turn your back to it. Time ran out.
But I think maybe the officials also think, if we're going to take longer to spot the ball, at least snap it on time too.
Yeah, and that's true. Now that we've got, this is the type of stuff that I guess is what I'm talking about. Is 31 seconds to go, and we need to move forward here. Need to move forward. So what do we got next week, Chuck? Next week here on Campus Nation,
Heading up north.
We will be traveling
taking the crew up to Cuyahoga County.
Yep, to Euclid, Ohio, and to see the Northeast Ohio Predators, who I believe on that one sheet was ranked number 2, right behind the Fire. So they are playing the Pittsburgh Rangers, and that's the rugby.
Soto, the rugby style kick there, and fielded, returned up to about the 50-yard line. So 20 seconds left in our game, and that's where the Fire will take over.
Now that can't be roughing because he was running. Now, see this.
I don't know about that, Coach. I think if he kicks it, then it can still be roughing.
I thought that once he leaves his position behind the center, he's no longer protected.
Once you're out of the box,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yes, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are going to wave that off. So
somebody said, "Hey, you made a bad call. Put that hanky back in your pocket with 20 seconds to go." Come on, what are we doing? Yeah.
18-point game at non-consequential.
Yeah. And of course, so as we wind down here, we thank Coach Martin and the Hornets for having us here today, Chuck. Hopefully somewhere along the playoff trail, we'll be back here to the beautiful John Q. Sherman Field.
Yeah, Roger Glass Stadium.
And
great place to watch a football game, that's for sure.
Yeah, what a nice facility, and the Hornets are very fortunate to be able to call this their home field.
Yep. So, a lot of discussion going on with 20 seconds to go out of these officials.
This is Again, this is something we've talked about, Chuck. Maybe the league needs to consider to go to more of a high school rule type of situation with minor modifications.
Yeah, that's right. You're asking these guys in a lot of situations to change the calls they make every day. So now the clock's running. It looks like they won't even need to run a play, and they're not going to. Teams are shaking hands, so the clock counts down. So, again, your final score is going to be Columbus Fire 34, Dayton Hornets 16.
And, of course, for Rick Phillips and Heather Morgan on the camera, our thanks to them for doing an excellent job of the coverage. TJ Baker, our engineer up here, doing the switching and picking the best highlights for you guys to watch. And then Chuck Hale, it's good to be back with you, Chuck. And
Yep, welcome back, Bill.
thank you. And so for Campus Nation and WZAA, we will see you next week from Euclid, Ohio, up in Cleveland, as we telecast the Pittsburgh Rangers at the Northeast Ohio Predators. So for the whole crew here at WZAA 106.9 LPFM and Campus Nation, good night, everyone.
Good night.